another reaction video. I think I got my mic situation situated. You feel me? I had to adjust some volumes and things like that. Yo, this YSL Rico Zoo, it's been insane, man. It's been crazy. I've been watching this shit. It's like super entertaining. So I'm like, fuck it. Might as well watch it with my peoples. It's pretty crazy stuff, y'all. Y'all gotta admit. Now we got the cross examination of Young Thug's ex head of security. Pretty interesting. Let's get into it.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon.
I'd like to ask you, if you don't mind, to lock in on June 9th, Sunday, 2024, if you can. Do you remember being located at a Starbucks in Fayetteville, Georgia?
Yes.
And the gentleman who is seated in the first row here, the nice-looking young man in the who's now smiling, can you tell, ladies and gentlemen, Jerry, who that person is to you?
My attorney?
Okay, and he has a great reputation.
Yes.
And he's been with you, you said, approximately 15 years. And when I say with you, representing you, and he knows you and your family personally.
Yes.
He has become a lawyer for you, but also a friend to you. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
And his name is the Honorable Derek Wright. Is that right?
Yes.
All right. And he was kind enough to put us on a Zoom call at my request. Do you remember that?
Yes.
And that was shortly after, in fact, it was later on Sunday, June 9th, 2024. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
And during that call, I identified myself as Mr. Jeffrey Williams' lawyer. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
All right. And you told me, as well as your lawyer, that you met earlier that day with Prosecutor Love.
Yes.
An investigator who's a female with dark hair. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Do you remember her name as you sit here today?
I don't know her name, but I see her in the courtroom.
And is she the very, very kind young lady, third row back, smiling as well?
Yes.
Okay. And she identified herself as a co-worker to District Attorney Love. Is that right?
Yes.
And you freely went there to meet on your own time in Fayette County, right?
Yes.
And you did that to be courteous. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
And you did that because it's also, you knew you were going to testify and you wanted to tell the district attorney's office any information that they wanted to hear, right?
Yes.
And you also want to learn from them what it's like to testify. Is that all fair to say?
Yes.
And you said earlier on your, it's called a direct examination. It doesn't matter what it's called. When you were being questioned by Ms. Love, you said that she had a cell phone with her. You remember that?
Yes.
Either a laptop, an iPad, or some sort of device.
Yes.
And was she taking notes? Do you remember?
I think she wrote something on her notepad. I don't know what she wrote, but I know she wrote something on her notepad.
And I want to go over with you a couple things that you tell the jurors, whether it's true. And then my second question is going to be whether you told District Attorney Love that, okay?
Yes.
And when I say that, I'm talking about Wednesday, June 9th, Sunday, June 9th, 2024 at Starbucks, okay?
Yes.
Do you remember telling, with your lawyer there and the investigator at District Attorney's Office and District Attorney Love that shortly before, days before, the God forbid death of Donovan Thomas,
Yes.
you and a gentleman named Brian Williams, known as Birdman, do you know who I'm talking about?
Yes.
Birdman.
And others,
All three of y'all,
including Jeffrey,
Yes.
were all together.
Yes.
And you were outside in the parking lot of w.i.g Studios.
If I'm mistaken, I want to say it was T.I. Studio, not T.I.G.
That's fine.
Yes.
And you were having a good time.
Yes.
When you told District Attorney Love that you were with Donovan Thomas and Jeffrey, did you make it known that there was no animosity? That's a bad word. let me change it. Let me ask a different question, okay? Did you make it known that everyone was having a good time?
Yes.
Did you see any type of argument or spat or anger from Jeffrey towards Mr. Thomas?
No.
Did you see any anger or spat or argument from Mr. Thomas towards Jeffrey?
No.
In fact, you observed they were friendly, right?
Yes.
You knew they were good friends, right?
Yes.
You knew that Jeffrey really cared for Donovan Thomas. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
I love how cooperative he is.
This witness's ability to know, that would be speculation.
You can ask something foundational.
Okay. Did you observe, from your observations, did you observe that Jeffrey liked Donovan Thomas?
Yeah.
It's
What does that mean? Like,
Did you observe from your
Sound
observations the demeanor's a bad word too. Did you observe that there was friendship between the two of them?
Rephrase, please.
Stay on your head,
Sustained.
boy.
Let me ask you this. When you told that to District Attorney Love, was your lawyer right there at the same Starbucks?
Yes.
Was he there at the same table?
Yes.
Jeez.
Do you remember sitting outside the Starbucks?
Yes.
Okay. Did you see District Attorney Love make any notes when you told her that?
No.
I noticed she didn't ask you about that. Do you remember her asking? Maybe I missed it. Did she ask you about that when her 3 days of questioning you?
No.
Let me ask you this. When you were at that Starbucks on that Sunday, June 9, 2024, in the afternoon hours, do you remember telling District Attorney Love that on the evening after Donovan Thomas was, God forbid, shot, so it's January 10th, 2015, that's the date I'm locking on, okay?
Yes.
You remember telling her that you were at Jeffrey's home
Yes.
and Kenneth Copeland was there,
Yes.
among other people,
Yes.
and Jeffrey was there.
Yes.
And at
Jeffrey.
some time,
Wait.
Kenneth Copeland was receiving calls or received a call from the police saying that he was the suspect in
So
this
that's
murder
Woody
or the shooting of
Copeland.
Donovan Thomas. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
And that Jeffrey or Mr. Copeland was asking, what do I do? Do you remember that?
Yes.
And
What do I
Jeffrey said to Mr. Copeland, if you had nothing to do with the killing, you should go and talk to the police.
Yes.
And you told District Attorney Love that, right?
Yes.
In front of the
Damn.
Honorable Derek Wright, your lawyer.
Yes.
In front of, or
That
I don't
should
know if
be
she's
case
paying
closed.
attention. I'm not saying she was.
That sound like case closed. Like, he said, you ain't got nothing to do with it. Turn yourself in. He ain't say, he didn't sound worried, panicked, nothing. According to the witnesses, you feel me?
But the investigator was around.
She was there.
And do you remember District Attorney Love telling you that she would prefer if you don't state to the jury that Jeffrey told you to take Mr. Copeland to the police department if he was not involved in the murder?
Yes.
Did you ask why?
No, I never asked why.
I never asked why.
Now, you also said, and it's the truth, and if it's
Yes.
not, you correct it, that you were very close with Donovan Thomas.
Yes.
In fact, your relative, I
They
think
all
cousin,
family.
but tell the jurors if I'm wrong, dated Donovan Thomas's relative.
Yes.
And Donovan Thomas is close with your mother.
Yes.
And you told District Attorney Love that.
Yes.
Now, you were asked by District Attorney Love whether you remember anything else anyone said regarding the murder of Donovan Thomas on the night of January 10, 2015, going into January 11, 2015. Do you remember that question by any chance?
No, not actually. I don't remember that question.
Okay. Do you remember Jeffrey being distraught? That's a bad word. Being upset or sad at the shooting of Mr. Thomas?
Yes.
Do you remember?
He slick. How he say the word. He want the jury to hear it. Then he clean himself up. That's a bad word. And then he say another word. He give him 2 words. Slick. He had him thinking, oh, Jeffrey distraught, worried, all this. That boy slick there, ain't he?
Remember?
Your Honor, I object. That calls for speculation about
Rephrase.
Mr. Williams.
Do you remember ever seeing Jeffrey put out a post, rest in peace, about Mr. Donovan Thomas's death?
I asked for an objection. I'm saying to stop an improper question about putting facts not in evidence. Mr. Steele knew that is putting
Miss
facts
Love.
not in evidence. And I would ask not only that the court strike the question, but admonish Mr. Steele to not put facts improperly not in evidence before this jury.
Okay. Can you ask some foundational questions?
Miss
please?
Love.
Your Honor, any post made by defendant Williams.
So you're not talking about that evening, are you?
Yes, ma'am. I'm talking about the morning hours of January 11, 2015.
All
That
right.
gentleman.
We might need to take this up outside the presence of the jury.
Miss Love. All right, where the one I was looking for though? Was it this one? The new one? It just came out today. All right, here we go. Yeah, this is it.
I don't think we want to be here this time next year doing the same thing.
I'm never one to argue against that, Your Honor.
I'm never one to argue against that, Your Honor.
Follow up on that?
Sure.
My office should have sent your Honorable Court an email about, I believe it's the same day, November 5 is Election Day. I was given the honor of arguing a case before the Honorable Supreme Court of Georgia at Georgia State University that morning. So I have to clear it with your Honorable Court, but I just want to, I have to let the court know.
Okay. I'll let y'all know.
He a slickster,
I
you
haven't
could
seen
tell.
that email yet, but I'm sure it'll get forwarded.
It's sent to Ms. Percival, but we could, and Ms. Ross.
I'm sure that they'll send it on to me.
He one of them little sheeps. Yeah. A wolf in
Yeah.
sheep clothing. A wolf in
Yes.
sheep clothing.
Oh, it's fine. I just was sending out the Zoom link to on the email that your, I guess, assistant had sent. It's fine. I don't need to know. I appreciate it though.
He a wolf in sheep clothing. You could tell the boy's slick.
And
You definitely gotta watch him. Hold up, where we at? This mouse is bugging. I know my audio sound right though. All right, here we go. Oh, homie ain't even come in yet.
I just want to point out to the court that to the extent that the objection is made that there was a comment on the evidence or the evidence saying a particular thing, 2 things as it relates to what I said. I intentionally did not speak a particular name for multiple reasons. And I was particularly vague. for multiple reasons. But the objection that I had was that Mr. Steele asserted through his language that that particular flyer was introduced in 2015, and that was put forth before the jury more than once.
Right.
And Mr. Sledge agreed with that. And Mr. Steele then put forth a flyer that he said would have chronologically come after that flyer that I had the objection to. And that flyer that he put up was one from December 2014. So this is not a circumstance where I testified. I alluded I made reference to something that I believe existed. I did not comment on, what that evidence was, or make a comment on the evidence. But unlike a circumstance where a lawyer would say, that didn't happen, to a question being asked,
Miss Love,
I simply said the evidence. There's been evidence. I didn't say what evidence. I didn't comment on a particular piece of evidence. And so, in as much as my statement to the court was intended to orient the court and to apprise the court of why I was making the objection without speaking too much about it, I would ask the court to overrule Mr. Steele's objection to my objection and deny any motion that he made as a result of it. But we are still, at the court's direction, looking for the language that led us to be where led me to make the statement that I made.
And Mr. Steele, looking back,
all that for nothing.
When we were talking about it Friday, you said you weren't sure that you had said 2015, but looking back on page 10 before the objection by Ms. Love, you do say you don't say, but you're asking, is that 2015? And the witness agrees, and apparently everybody knew it was 2014. So,
may I speak?
Sure.
So I agree. I misspoke. I did not do it intentionally, but that's for the court.
You did it, bro.
And Ms. Love, I hope you feel better. My issue goes to three things, really. And the reason, and thank you for allowing me not to ask the jurors to be removed. I don't remember the time, but it was close to 5, and I just didn't think it was appropriate.
Sure.
But I appreciate you allowing that to happen, and that it's still preserved. My issue, though, is this. I definitely misspoke. I watched the Law and Order or whatever, Law and Crime, and then I got the transcript later. And I apologize.
Law and Crime.
All that has to be said is, where's the date on it? Ms. Love said that, or are you certain, or do it on redirect? And then I corrected, because I said this is in date order, and then I went back to the next flyer. Is it the same band, same group, performing, and it's December 31, 2014, going into January 1, 2015. I wanted to correct it.
That's why they get the
realize
big
at the
bucks.
time I said 15. I wasn't focused properly, I guess. But for a lawyer to then say, and the evidence.
Okay. That's fine.
Gotta sit there and explain all that shit.
Good morning, Mr. Sledge.
On, yeah.
My boy look tired. He ain't been getting no sleep, huh? No sleep, no sleep. He got a chain on? I know he ain't got no chain on. Stunting in the spot. Oh, no, he probably... Oh, okay.
All right, thank you very much. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I hope y'all all had a very
I
nice
thought the boy
weekend.
was shining.
Mr. Steele, I believe you were finishing up your examination of this witness.
Your Honor, may I approach Mr. Sledge?
You may.
Mr. Sledge, may I approach you?
Yes, sir.
I'm showing you what I've
Yes,
marked
sir.
as Mr. Williams or JW255. Would you take a peek at this for me? Tell me whether you recognize that item.
Yes.
And is it in the same condition? Have you seen it prior to, 2024, 2023, going back? Is it the same condition?
Yes.
Any alterations or changes to it that you can tell?
No, not allowed to see.
Your Honor, I move for the admission of Mr. Williams 255.
It's admitted.
May Mr. Kokomo display it, Your Honor?
Yes.
It should come up on your screen, but it should be the same exact thing. You could check it. That's in front of you, okay?
Yes.
And if Mr. Kokomo can blow that up at all, and if not, that's fine. So this is exhibit number at the very top, Mr. Kokomo, if you just show. You see where it says exhibit or EXH number JW, Jeffrey Williams 253? I believe it's 255, though. Let me see if I can. You see at the very top 255?
Yes.
Okay. And then if Mr. Kokomo can just center so all the words can be seen,
Everything
the actual
is yes.
writing. Do you recognize this as a social media posting? And do you see the date?
Yes.
And it's from DMAC, got me to
banging.
TOO, banging at DMAC to banging. You see it says December 27, 2014.
Yes.
And
My nigga lied
does
to
it
they
read
mama.
then, and I'm changing it just because that's how I am. A-N, lie to they mama, brother, sister, and kids, but get to the courtroom and tell the God's honest truth, 3 question marks. I don't get it. And then hyphen at Young Thug. Do you see that?
Yes.
All right, did I read that fairly accurate? I know it wasn't perfectly accurate, but fairly accurate?
Yes.
All right. And is that similar to what has been marked and played in states number 447Y, where you started out with, I'm going to, and this may not be exact quote, but something like, I'm going to swear to tell the truth, I'm going to lie on God. You remember that?
Yes.
All right. Can you tell the jurors what it means, if you know, when it says at the end of it, the hyphen at Young Thug?
Before it,
Can you explain that to the jury?
I don't get it.
Yeah, right after that.
At Young Thug. I mean Young Thug. I'm sorry.
Yeah, do you see that?
Yes.
Do you know, and if you don't know, just say, I'm not sure. Do you know what that means?
No, I don't
That's
know
fine.
exactly what it means.
Okay, and this one goes back, if you remember, and if you don't, we can show it to you. But do you remember what the state used on January 26, 2015, said repost? You remember that?
The repost whiz.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And then you showed the jury the January 4th, 2015 video, same video, Jeffrey Williams, you remember that?
Yes.
And this one is approximately a week before January 4th, 2015, right?
Yes.
December 27, 2014.
Yes.
And prior to this, prior to 2014 and 2013, 12, going back, have you heard the same type of statement?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Now, did anyone from the police department or the district attorney's office, and I'm saying after you entered a plea, so this is December 28th, 2022, okay?
Yes.
After that, so coming forward.
Yes.
Did anyone from the district attorney's office or one of their teammates, police, whomever, did they ever ask you?
Objection. Relevance as to what anyone else ever asked this witness. If Mr. Steele wants to ask something, he can.
What's the relevance?
Ask about the evidence of the reposting? They showed the gentleman the evidence?
Your Honor, my
Know if
objection.
I want to know if anybody ever went over with him that it's a repost.
Your Honor,
Sustained.
Did at your meeting, we'll just do it on June 9th, 2024 at the Fayetteville Starbucks?
Yes.
Did District Attorney Love ever ask
objection.
you about?
Objection.
An objection.
Yes.
Sustained.
Did State's Exhibit number 447Y, the repost,
Dang.
January 26, 2015, was that ever discussed with you?
Objection, Your Honor.
Sustained.
Where it says on the January 4th, 2015 video, and if you need to see it, I'll show it to you. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Okay. Where you read to the jurors that Mr. Martinez or Duke said it first?
Yes.
Remember that? Okay. Did you ever explain to anyone about Mr.
Objection,
Martinez
Your Honor.
saying
That
it
would be
first?
hearsay.
He say, she
right
say.
here.
Explaining outside the court, it would be relevance and objection.
Sustained.
All right. Now, District Attorney Love asked you on your direct examination why you didn't go to the police on the morning of January 11, 2015 when you dropped off Mr. Copeland at the City of Atlanta Police Department homicide. Do you remember that question?
Yes.
All right. And you were aware that the police called Mr. Copeland
Yes.
that night, and then Mr. Copeland went down to see the police, right?
Yes.
Did the police call you and tell you that you were the prime suspect?
No.
Objection to the compound question.
Overruled.
No.
You were asked questions about the music company or business YSL Direct Deposits. You remember that, working for them?
Yes.
Working for Mr. Williams. You remember all those questions?
Yes.
All right. Do you personally know? Do you personally observe? Does that music business have lawyers working for them? If you know. If you don't know, just say I don't know.
I don't know.
All right. Do they have accountants?
Yes, I think they have accountants though. I know that.
How about managers?
Yes.
Objection, Your Honor, vague as to managers.
Overruled.
Yes.
Now, you were asked a lot of questions
Just
also about what you explained to the jury that anybody can claim YSL. You remember all those questions?
Yes.
There was no beating in, there was no initiation fee. Remember those type of issues?
No. Never have. That you never have to get beaten or however.
Somebody could just say, I'm with YSL.
Right.
I'm with
By doing
YSL.
that, does that mean that they're with the record company YSL?
Objection, vague. By doing that, I don't know.
She on him. Objection,
Now.
objection. Scratch that.
You mentioned yesterday meeting with Jeffrey and Mr. Brian Birdman Williams and yourself and Mr. Donovan Thomas and others, I'm not excluding others, shortly before, God forbid, Mr. Thomas was, days before he was killed on January 10, 2015 at TI Studios. You remember that testimony?
Yes.
Is TI the performer TI that you're talking about?
Yes.
Do you know his real name?
Some Harris. That's all I know. I know his last name Harris.
Mr. Harris?
Yes.
And is he a phenomenal, well-known, accomplished artist?
Objection, Your Honor.
Sustained.
You were asked about the definition of snitching. Do you remember that?
She got her hair
I don't
done.
remember.
She got her hair
All right.
laid out.
Do you remember saying in the video 447Y snitching, and I'm not going to say, but B-I-T blank H.
Yes.
Okay. And tell the jury what snitching means.
What I'm doing now?
To me, my definition of snitching is another person lying on another person.
Now,
That was good. That was good.
on from December 28, 2022, I'm using that date because that's the date that you were released from custody on this case. That's the date of your guilty plea, okay?
Yes.
All the way through today, but including Sunday, June 9th, 2024, when you met at the Fayetteville Starbucks,
Yes.
the district attorney and your lawyer and the investigator. Did anybody go over with you what's been gone over with you in court?
You was ratting too, nigga.
No.
You told the jury that Jeffrey idolizes Lil Wayne or Mr. Dwayne Carter. Do you remember that testimony?
Yes.
Did you ever hear, are you familiar with Lil Wayne's work? His music, his...
Yeah, I'm familiar with his music.
Have you ever heard him use the word slime, the term slime?
Yes.
Was that before you ever heard anyone say it, or was it after?
I don't heard it said before, but he was like one of the first.
I see what he doing. He trying to establish that Wayne was saying that slime before Thug, and I think he right too. Wayne, Noriega, a bunch of people were saying slime.
Being who?
Wine to wine.
Okay. Your Honor, I don't have any other questions.
All right, Ms. Weinstein, you had brief cross.
Thank you, sir.
Go ahead.
Good morning, Mr. Sledge.
Good morning.
My name is Doug Weinstein, and I'm Diamante Kendrick's attorney.
Yes.
May I approach you and show you something?
Yes.
Thank you.
You should ask the judge that, nigga. All the homies got lawyers, huh? Thug probably paying for all of these motherfucking lawyers. Imagine. Some type of way. Rest in peace, Rich Homie Quan.
Look at this video.
He paying for them lawyers some type of way.
Do you recognize the action that was performed by that player in that video?
Yes, Tyrone here.
Testimony about it.
Oh,
Tyrone.
Excuse me, just do you recognize that
Yes.
player?
Yes.
Do you recognize the action that he performed?
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, I'm moving to admit Kendrick 1.
I object on the basis of relevance and foundation, and if we need to approach so that Mr. Weinstein can show the court what it
Well,
is.
yeah, I haven't seen it, so.
Okay.
He tried to jump in the game with some shit. Miss Love wasn't having it.
Okay.
Miss Love got her pink on today. She like, we need to approach the Brent. Let's approach the bench, please. They not letting shit pass. I ain't gonna lie. Should I fast forward this? How long this gonna last? This might be a minute. Look what I did. I fucked up again. It's still going.
Beyond that, Your Honor, because it's speculative.
Okay, what she got to say?
Miami game yesterday.
Okay. I'll move on.
All right.
This nigga said I'll move on. All right, we gotta stop right there. Miss Love on point though. I ain't gonna lie to you. But it seemed like it's just her against all these high-powered attorneys, and she the only one that's really holding it down. Motherfuckers got to step up their game. Old girl, she was cross-examining the witnesses before. I think she got demoted because she was getting real emotional, real emotional, real intense. She was getting out of her bag, and it wasn't helping her at all. It wasn't helping the case because it looked like she got some personal interest going on, like something else, you feel me, is involved with this besides what's the facts. She got other issues with people probably because they all from the town of Georgia, Atlanta, and yeah, it could be everybody know everybody's situation, you feel me? So she got real emotional. They sat her ass down. You feel me? Miss Love, she more experienced, I think. Yeah, it didn't work out, but we'll see. This is a circus, though. I can't lie. This whole shit is a circus. You already know to get John Gotti on the RICO what they had to go through. Or they couldn't even get him on the RICO. They had to get the, you feel me? Actual phone taps of him saying the shit. Or a real snitch that's sitting on the stand like Sammy the Bull. A real snitch that's...
Sustain on the foundation, but you can see if you can lay further foundation.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Like in this case, I ain't see no real. They all, I guess, you know, if they copped out or whatever else, there's ratting remnants. People say they rats. I ain't gonna stamp it, but with like
Mr. Sledge, I have a few more questions about that video that I showed you.
Yes.
Have you seen that video of that player before?
I know who the player are.
Have you seen him doing this particular thing? Have you seen that clip before that I showed you?
I don't recall seeing the clip, but I just seen it when you just showed it to me.
Did you watch the game yesterday?
I didn't watch Miami game yesterday.
Okay. I'll move on.
All right.
I'm going to show you something else, all right?
Yes.
May I approach?
Somebody messed the camera up. They need to shift the camera over. Well, my boy...
You see this photograph?
Yes.
Have you seen that photograph before?
No, not to today.
Okay.
The cameraman went to the bathroom. You need to adjust the camera a little bit.
And I will not be asking you questions about that photograph.
Right.
December 28th, 2022. Going back to that date. Where did you wake up in the morning?
At Fulton County Jail.
And where did you wake up on January 1st, 2023? New Year's Day.
And at home.
At your home.
Yes.
In your own bed.
Yes.
And you signed that plea deal that we've already talked about.
Yes.
And you initialed all those statements that were made in there, right?
Yes.
And you would have initialed anything to get out of jail on that day, correct?
Yes.
If they would have asked you if you could say that YSL did
Objection
not kill
calls for
Tupac.
speculation.
What's the question?
If they had asked you,
Objection
If
to
you-
if they had asked you.
Yeah.
Just nothing else beyond that, Your Honor, because it's speculation.
Facts.
but again, you signed and initialed all of that, and you would have signed and initialed anything.
Objection.
Yeah, Idle Rice Street, correct?
Asked and answered.
Same.
No more questions.
This lawyer sucks. He tried to be slick.
Cross, is that right?
He
Is
a
that
lower
still the
level.
case? Okay. All right. Is there a redirect?
There is, Your Honor.
All
He
right.
a lower level lawyer. He tried to be slick. Look at Miss Love with her pink on. That shit was funny as hell. Sit down, fat boy. You suck. He thought he had something too. Try again, buddy. Nice try. Look. That was funny as fuck.
Mr. Sledge, you were asked quite a few things by Mr. Steele on Friday regarding what was and what was not asked of you at the time that you entered your plea agreement with the state. Do you recall that?
Yes.
He tried it. I can't deny he tried it. But this shit ain't work. EST
Your
was
Honor,
right though.
just to satisfy the rule of completeness, the state tenders States Exhibit 444Y, the entire plea agreement,
YSL.
or States 1AS, which was admitted for a different purpose at a
All
different
right.
time.
Any objection? Okay.
Your Honor, I would object to further commentary unless we need to approach. I'm tendering the exhibit.
I understand. He's not commenting. He's stating what his objection is because I asked him to. I think we might need to approach to resolve it, though.
And I object to anything he said. Black girl, black girl. The boy can't even speak. She said, I object to anything he say. Here we go again.
Sign.
But I thought they was done with homie. They ain't done with him yet, huh? All right. Let's get to it. Oh, here he come. He coming back smiling, laughing.
All right, go ahead, Ms. Love.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Sledge, on cross-examination just now, I believe it was by Mr. Weinstein. Forgive me if it was by someone else. Were you asked the question whether anyone ever went over the plea agreement with you between December 28, 2022, when you signed the document that is States 444Y and States 1AS, and today? Were you asked that question on cross-examination by either Mr. Steele or Mr. Weinstein?
I don't know. I don't think Mr. Steele asked me that. He asked me something about June the 9th, so I don't know if Weinstein just asked me that question either.
All right. Did Mr. Steele ask you on cross-examination whether anyone went over that document that you signed on December 28, 2022 with you at the June 2024, I believe it was, meeting between you, your attorney, Investigator Lancico, and me in Fayette County? Did Mr. Steele ask you that?
I think that was the question was.
And was your answer no?
Yeah, no, yes.
Okay. At that point, had the document already been signed in its entirety? Had you already signed everything you needed
Oh,
to
yes,
sign?
yes.
On cross-examination last week, you were asked about hiring an attorney for the purposes of this case. And let me actually back up and ask you this. You were asked a few questions about what was going on at the time that you signed this plea agreement on December 28th, 2022. Do you recall that?
Oh,
Yes.
All right. Do you recall being in a courtroom here in Fulton County on the date that you signed that plea agreement on December 28th, 2022?
I don't think I was in the courtroom. I think I was in the tank in the back when I signed.
Okay. Were you in a courtroom when you acknowledged under oath that everything that you signed was true?
Yes.
Did Mr. Steele,
Everybody
Mr.
signed.
Sharp, or any of your other friends' attorneys ask you on cross-examination?
Sustained.
Okay. Did you tell the jury that you loved Mr. Stillwell? You loved Shannon.
I love her.
Yes.
Did you tell the jury that
My
you
heart.
loved Defendant Williams?
Yes.
And Mr. Stillwell and Mr. Shart and Mr. Williams, they represent people that you love, correct?
Yes.
All right. So on cross-examination by lawyers for one of the people that you love in this courtroom, were you asked about your conditions prior to signing the plea agreement that you signed on December
No.
28th, 2022?
Could you repeat that?
Yes. On cross-examination last week, do you recall being asked about conditions you endured before signing the plea agreement that you signed on December 28th, 2022?
Yes.
Everybody saw
Do you
it.
recall being asked if you felt pressure to sign that plea agreement?
Yes, I think so.
Do you recall being asked whether you felt intimidated to sign that plea agreement?
I don't recall that.
I'll ask you, were you intimidated by the state into signing that plea agreement?
Was I intimidated?
Were you intimidated?
That's what she
I
said.
wouldn't say I was intimidated. I was basically like,
He too tough to say I was intimidated.
I just feel like it was forced on me at the time. I wasn't intimidated by it.
It was forced on you. We're going to come back to that word force, okay?
Yeah.
Do you recall on direct examination when I was asking you questions, do you recall you first mentioning something about the fact that your mom, unfortunately, had become ill? Do you remember that?
Yes.
Do you recall telling me not to speak on her?
I said I didn't want to talk about her.
Do you recall Mr. Steele asking you about her multiple times?
Yes.
Did you have any problem with him talking about her?
No, because me and my lawyer had discussed don't even get frustrated about it.
Frustrated.
So
I ain't never heard
is your
like that.
testimony that you didn't mind Mr. Steele talking about it because you had a conversation with your lawyer about that?
That boy
Yes,
say
he just told me to
frustrated.
stay focused and
Okay. All right.
even with you, he just say stay focused and answer the questions.
And tell the truth?
Yes.
All right. When you say you felt forced, would you please tell the jury who it was that forced you to sign, or who you felt forced you, if anyone in particular, to sign anything on December 28th, 2022?
She sound like a mama. Who forced you? Who? Tell me who. Who forced you? Sound like a mama. That's that mama coming up.
I would say the state because when I addressed it and tried to change situations,
She want a name.
they wouldn't change it. So
And it's still your testimony. Is it still your testimony that there were things that you wanted changed that you did not get changed? Is that still your testimony?
Objection asked and answered.
Overruled.
Yeah,
could
that-
you repeat it?
Is it still your testimony that there were things you wanted changed in this plea agreement that you did not get changed?
Why are you looking at the judge?
Your Honor, could I talk to my lawyer right there?
You may.
Or no? I don't want to. Could I?
All right. Let's just, take a recess.
Oh shit! He said you gotta talk to the lawyer. That's crazy as fuck. But you know what's really crazy? How embarrassing it gotta be for them. They went ratting, signing the deals and everything else. But before, when they play that footage of them, all them snitch ass rats, they talking about rats and all the videos and all that. Now they gotta look at themselves looking like fools when they sitting there ratting. Woo-wee. A lot of these dudes gonna, hit the bottle heavy, hit the drugs heavy, it's gonna be bad. You know, Woody, he found his way on the internet. He getting his money, but I can't imagine he can't even look at himself in the mirror. I know he can't, because he was claiming all that gangster
I
shit.
know we just broke, but if anybody needs to use the restroom, you can go ahead and do that. And can somebody let me know when he's back from talking to his lawyer? Thank you.
Yes, Judge.
Appreciate it.
He said, I talked to my lawyer real fast. Hey, they can't lock me up if I say this, right? Yeah, I should be able to talk about this, ain't it?
That's never any fun.
But I ain't gonna lie, I never seen that before. You know he got a paid lawyer. He said, can I talk to my lawyer? I never seen that. In the middle of a trial. But I guess that's, see, I just learned something. That should be my right. Even if I got a public defender, I'm gonna stop this shit up. Oh, can I talk to my lawyer, please? We need a break. You need to leave. For sure. I need to talk to my lawyer right now. She cracked the salsa. What she got? Oh, she got a Sprite. Her ghetto ass. All that sugar, Miss Love. Let's go. What's going on? See, I'm about to fast forward and miss some shit.
I don't remember.
I knew it. My bad, y'all.
You said the 28th.
I'm gonna just leave it alone. Here we go. I got time. I got good timing most of the time. Yo, imagine these black women. They gotta come up with their outfits every day. It's a fashion show for them. That's crazy, right? Because you know they ain't gonna be seen on TV and all these shit with the same outfit on.
Go ahead, Miss Love.
I'm sure they all upgraded their wardrobe.
Mr. Sledge, have you had enough time to speak with your attorney?
Yes.
During the time that you spoke with your attorney, is your attorney the only person that you spoke with?
Yes.
All right. Did you speak with any member of the state this weekend?
This weekend?
Yes.
No.
All right. Did you have an opportunity to speak with your attorney this weekend?
Ma'am didn't talk, but
Okay. All right. So, did you testify on cross-examination last week that there were portions of the plea agreement that you signed that you asked the state to change, but that the state refused to change?
no, what I said, yes, but they changed certain things, but it still was things that I had problem with. From my awareness, once if you call me to the stand, that I would be able to explain the things that they didn't change.
Do you recall when I first asked you questions on direct about the April 2015 drive-by shooting that you,
April 15.
the April 28th, 2015 drive-by shooting? Do you recall when I asked you about that on direct?
Yes.
Do you recall you told me you did that in your best interest?
So he told on himself though.
Could you repeat that? You lost me right now.
Do you remember saying that was in my best interest when I asked you if you pled guilty to the shooting on April 28, 2015?
Yes.
And do you remember saying that I did that because it was in my best interest multiple times? Do you remember saying that?
You said that I took the plea in my best interest?
My question is, do you remember?
I don't recall. Okay.
She look like somebody grandma, damn near, the way she walking.
Okay.
Do you remember us talking about your 2015, April 28th, 2015 shooting and that subsequent plea last week. You and me, not anybody else, while you've been on the stand.
You said the 28th drive-by shoot?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right. And do you remember I asked you whether you pled guilty to that? Do you remember that?
Yes.
And do you remember you told the jury, do you remember telling the jury, well, I did it in my best interest? And
Yes.
this is not a trick question, I promise you.
Yes.
All right. And do you remember you said that more than once? I did that in my best interest.
Yeah, I remember that part.
Okay. And when you say in your best interest, are you familiar with what is known as an Alford plea?
No, I don't really know what an alpha plea really mean. I just was saying that I pleaded guilty in my best interest.
And when you say that you pleaded guilty in your best interest, what do you understand that to mean as opposed to just flat out pleading guilty?
Could you repeat it?
I can.
Cause that was kind of tricky.
So, if you enter just a regular old guilty plea and someone asks you, did you plead guilty? Would it be unusual for you to just say yes? I pled guilty?
Anything I plead guilty to, I feel like it's in my best interest to plead guilty to.
That plea that you entered in 2017, especially, there was a special designation to it though, right? It was an Alford plea, wasn't it?
I didn't know it was an alpha plea.
I didn't know. You know, one thing about this, as I watch this, them boys are making them, the people work. They making them work for their money. They making them work for them convictions. They putting them folk to work, making them repeat stuff. These people going to work for this. They gonna have to work for this conviction, and that's something crazy, eye opening. You know, when you take it all away, it's a lot of work involved, especially if you got a lot of money like Jeffrey Williams got. They every one of these witnesses are putting these people to work.
When you entered the plea that you entered on December the 28th, 2022, did you recognize the prosecutor asking you questions as the same one talking to you here right now, me?
Yes.
All right. And did you recognize the prosecutor at the table with me as the same one I have my left hand on now, Miss Hilton?
She wasn't in the courtroom when you did the plea. She went somewhere.
Okay. All right. So we see the video, but we see Miss Hilton's lovely face. You'll recognize Miss Hilton as having been in the courtroom?
I don't remember seeing her here too.
That's fair enough. Do you remember seeing a judge who looked a little different than the one on the stand now?
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember seeing your attorney, Mr. Wright, there sitting with you?
Mr.
Yes.
Wright.
Is that the same attorney that you had in 2015?
I don't think I got arrested in 2015, but if I would have, he would have been the one to do the case.
Did you testify on direct examination that Mr. Wright has been your attorney for 15 years?
Yes.
Could you tell the jury when Mr. Wright first started representing you in criminal matters?
I want to say like 08, 09, something like that, if I'm not mistaken.
Did you tell the jury on cross-examination that Mr. Wright is someone that you trust?
Yes.
Did you tell the jury on cross-examination that Mr. Wright is someone whose advice and counsel you take seriously?
I don't remember saying like that. You put it in that word.
Would you just tell the jury right now then how it is you feel about the lawyer who's represented you for the last 15 years?
He been great.
Where's she getting at with this?
He been great to me.
Okay.
Where's she going with this?
And he was in the room with you when you entered the plea on December 28th, 2022?
Oh, I see now. Okay.
Yes.
She just shitted on him. Mr. Right.
Is this the first time you had to testify at a criminal trial?
I don't understand what you're saying.
Oh.
Do you understand
Did you rap
that you
before,
are now
Playboy?
in a witness box testifying in a criminal trial?
Did you rap before, she asked
This is
you?
my first time knowing that I was a witness to testify up on the oath.
All right.
What?
So this is the first time that you've testified in a criminal trial? Is that fair to say?
I ain't gonna say it's probably not my first time, but me
Oh.
knowing that I was gonna be called as a witness, yeah, this is my first time.
All right.
What? I don't understand that. I don't get that one. So you testified in a criminal case
Do you
before?
remember
I
being
don't know.
asked on
what he saying?
cross-examination by either Mr. Sharp or Mr. Steele? I believe it was Mr. Sharp, your friend Shannon's lawyer. Whether you...
I think she's just trying to get clear who it is. But we don't need the commentary.
Yes, Your Honor. Do you know who represents your friend Shannon?
Yes, I've been sitting in the courtroom like everyone else.
Which person do you recognize as representing defendant Stillwell?
Mr. Short.
All right. So do you remember Mr. Sharp asking you if on December 28th, 2022, you found yourself between a rock and a hard place?
And ratted.
Yes.
And what did you answer to him regarding December 28th, 2022?
What you say?
What did I say?
Yeah, what was your answer to that
I
question?
said yes.
And would you tell the jury what the rock was and what the hard place was?
He ain't gonna answer that. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't understand.
What was the situation I was in the hard place my mother was sick.
And when you say the situation you were in?
Incarcerated.
Okay.
And
All right. And hopefully, is your mom doing...
no, she deceased.
I'm sorry. So did your being in Fulton County Jail have any bearing on your decision to enter that plea that you entered on December 28th, 2022?
Being in Fulton County Jail and away from my mother.
All right. Which one had the biggest bearing?
Being away from my mother.
All right. So being in Fulton County Jail wasn't a big factor in your entering that plea?
Objection. Mischaracterizes his
I'm asking a
testimony.
question.
I didn't hear.
I'm asking a question. Motherfucker.
I'll rephrase.
All right, she's going to rephrase.
Mr. Sledge, was being confined in the Fulton County Jail a large factor in your deciding to enter a guilty plea on December 28, 2022?
Yes, it was, but my mother was bigger.
Okay. All right.
She trying to say the rock and the hard place was being a rat or going to jail. For some niggas, that ain't even a decision. That ain't a hard decision. For some, it is.
Is there any reason why during the plea colloquy that the jury heard on Friday, that was played or Monday, last Friday actually, that was played at the end of the state's direct, is there any reason, or rather let me ask you, did you ever hold up your hand and tell the court you wanted to make some clarifications?
No, I would have directed it to my lawyer, and whatever you did, but what I wanted, you wouldn't do. You didn't do everything I wanted.
He's a cat master, nigga.
You were asked by Mr. Steele, your friend, Mr. Williams' attorney, whether or not the state ever sat down and met with you. Do you remember being asked whether the state ever sat down before the June meeting and before you entered that plea agreement and met with you? Do you remember him asking you that?
Yes.
Did the state ever sit down and meet with you?
No.
Did you ever agree to sit down and meet with the state?
I can't agree if the state don't come to me and ask me.
Do you, or has your attorney, or do you have any understanding that the state can't come to you except through your attorney?
No, I didn't know that.
Okay. Did you ever have an understanding that the state wanted to talk to you before you signed the plea agreement on December 28, 2022?
No.
Okay. Did you ever ask your attorney for an opportunity to speak with the state?
No, I ain't never asked him to speak to the state.
Why not?
I don't know. I can't tell you that else. I never asked him to speak with you because that's his job. That ain't my job. That's why I hired him.
Was there anything about the state that made you feel you couldn't speak with the state if you wanted to?
No, but if they would have came to me and asked me to speak with them, with that plea agreement was on there, I would have told them the same thing I told him when I took it, like, that ain't right.
Now, when we speak about the state, is your understanding that that means only the district attorney's office? Or do you consider the state the police as well?
I just thought all y'all work together. I don't know. They put you in jail, you put you in jail if you have to. So I don't know. Y'all both doing y'all job, I guess.
And
They
so
all the state.
when police spoke with you back in 2015, did you consider them the state as well?
I don't know. I think y'all work in two different departments.
You're right.
Because I don't see the state on the street locking people up. The police, I do.
Okay. So when you spoke with the police back in 2015, did you tell the police any of those things that you told your friend, Defendant Williams' attorney, and your friend, Defendant Stillwell's attorney, when they asked you questions on cross? Did you tell the police any of that stuff?
I don't think they asked me nothing like that. I don't recall them asking me nothing like that. You said the police?
Yes,
The
sir.
police.
I don't recall them asking me nothing like that what Mr. Steele asked me.
Do you recall Mr. Steele asking you about that drive-by shooting?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Do you recall the police asking you about that drive-by shooting?
Yes.
How much information did you give the police about that drive-by shooting?
I told the police it wasn't true.
Okay. Now, okay, so, and when I asked you on direct examination about that drive-by shooting, what did you tell me about that drive-by shooting?
I don't recall. You can refresh my memory.
Do you recall me asking you what you did before that shooting?
I don't recall it, though.
Do you recall me asking you how did that shooting happen? Yeah.
She on him.
I can show you. I can
Go
respond.
ahead. Overruled.
Thank you, Judge. Do you recall me asking you what led to that shooting?
I don't recall.
Do you recall telling me on the stand, or actually telling the jury, because it's not me.
I copped out to that.
Do you recall telling the
say
jury when I asked you on direct that you just went to pick up Mr. Garlington from the club, or that Mr. Garlington had gotten jumped on?
I think I told you I went back and got him from the club. That's what I told you.
And do you recall telling the jury when I asked you questions that you didn't see anybody who jumped on Mr. Garlington?
I told you I didn't know anyone that jumped on Mr. Garland. The same thing I told them on cross. I didn't know exactly who it was that jumped on.
Did you tell the jury on direct with questioning by me that you didn't see the faces of anyone who jumped on Mr. Garlington?
Yes.
And did you tell the jury that you didn't see the faces of anyone that you may have interacted with during that time?
Yes, sir.
Objection 403, waste of time, repeating, and
May I respond?
Yes.
Your Honor, Mr. Steele cross-examined the witness on this very topic. I believe that it is necessary to orient the witness to the questions I asked before I get into the questions that I want to ask him about what he told Mr. Steele. Number one, so it's not a 403 waste of time in any way. And I believe that he made a second objection I'd like to respond to, but I can't remember what it was. Wow. It was kind of long.
The
and
YSL Circus case
suggests an answer, and it does not consist of questions that simply require yes or no response.
Overruled. And I'll give you a little leeway.
Overruled. Girl power.
Get to what you actually want to get to.
You know, Miss Love was a cool girl at school.
Do you recall telling the jury when I asked you about the drive-by shooting that you never saw a shooting?
I ain't see shit.
I don't recall.
Do you recall telling the jury when I asked you about the drive-by
I love when they say that shit.
That you just dropped off Demekion and Quindarius and you went on your merry way?
I don't think I said I went on my merry way.
That's my words.
Okay, but I remember
your merry way.
I ain't saying I went on and directly left the scene, but I didn't actually witness them shooting the gun. That's what I said.
Is it your testimony today that on direct examination, you did not tell the jury that you dropped off Quindarius Zachary and Demekion Garlington and left and don't know what they did after you left?
I don't recall that.
I think I recall that, but it's all good.
Do you recall me asking you about another house getting shot up on Drew Drive after the house on Adele getting shot up?
Spin again?
In what article? I don't know the address.
When we spin the bin, we're going to spin around 10?
Asking you about whether you saw or participated in any other house getting shot up other than the house off MLK on Adele Drive.
Wait about 10 minutes and then spin again?
I don't recall.
Spin the bins and spin again.
Do you not recall as well telling me that you didn't see any house get shot up?
Come on, my nigga. You told about 2 spins.
I don't recall me telling you that I seen house get shot up.
They said keep spinning, keep spinning.
No, what I just heard you say is I don't recall
me telling you that.
You don't recall you telling me what, sir?
I just don't recall, Ms. Love. I don't recall.
What is it that you don't recall? I'm sorry, I need the jury to know.
Trying to trick them up.
What don't you recall?
I don't recall. I don't recall.
Yeah, that shit funny as
You've
fuck.
been pressuring me so much, it's like I don't even be remembering a lot of stuff you saying.
Damn, that's a short right there. I'm gonna make that a short. I don't recall.
Is it that you don't recall telling the jury you did not see any houses getting shot up on April 28, 2015?
I don't recall.
Okay, today, do you recall seeing any houses getting shot up on April 28, 2015?
Speak about it. I don't recall. Say it.
I didn't. What I'm saying, I didn't see. I'm not saying that I didn't know no shooting was gonna happen, but what I'm saying is, I didn't personally witness the house that you saying that Quindarius Zachary and Garlington shot up.
Quindarius.
I appreciate that clarification. That's not my question. I'm asking you today to tell this jury whether you recall today seeing any houses, since it's me talking to you,
she getting emotional.
Any houses getting shot up. Do you recall seeing any houses getting shot up? April 28th, 2015.
I don't recall.
No.
Overruled. So he just told you about the one house. So are you asking about any others?
Yes, I am.
So
The
ask
second
about-
spin.
Yeah, you got to tell me directly what house you talking about, cause
Pacific.
That's not what she's asking. She's
Oh, okay.
asking any other houses besides that one.
Well, I didn't know. I don't know the people that was shooting at the other house.
Okay. All right.
Pacific.
Did you see any houses getting shot up? Forget the address. I don't really care what address. Did you see any houses getting shot up on April 28th?
I just don't think that's an appropriate question.
Did
Okay,
you
well,
see
that's
the
not
house?
for you to decide. So
Okay,
unless
but
there's an
They
objection
laughing.
that's sustained, you can go ahead and answer the question.
Yes,
You did see some houses getting shot up?
not houses. You now you put more than one. It was one house that I probably seen.
Okay.
Probably.
Tell
see-
the jury
this
what
nigga.
house you probably seen get shot up April 28th, 2015.
I think it was Lexi. I don't even think it was a house. It was an apartment.
Tell
if I'm
the
not
jury.
mistaken.
Tell the jury what apartment you saw. You
I
probably.
don't know
Apartment.
the name of the apartment.
Apartment.
What can you tell the jury about
Apartment.
the apartment?
Where I was dropping Quindare, Miss Zachary off at. That's the one I could tell you about.
So, on Friday, when you talked about dropping off Demikion and Quindarius, weren't you dropping them? Were you dropping them off at the house off MLK on Adale Drive, or was there a different address you were dropping them off at?
I was drunk, Miss Love. I don't remember which
They call him
one it
Quan
was.
Quan.
Did your memory come back while you were being asked the same question by Mr. Steele?
No,
Do you remember telling Mr. Steele a whole bunch of stuff about?
I don't think Mr. Steele was the one cross-examining me on that.
Who do you believe was cross-examining?
Man, she got her hip
I
out.
think it was Mr. Sharp, not Mr. Steele.
Okay.
She trying to
Let's
get
go
on
with that for a
auntie
moment.
status with him.
Do you remember telling Mr. Sharp then details about houses that you saw getting shot up on April 28, 2015?
I didn't go here.
What?
Your Honor, I object. I object
Okay.
Your boy yelling in the middle of her
to
examination.
the speaking portion.
The
All
fuck?
right. So he just, I think she's asked him if you need to approach, let's
It's a
approach.
zoo. Set your ass down, boy.
Your Honor, the court
Let me
heard.
look at,
Boy, set your ass down somewhere.
let's,
Set your narrow behind down somewhere. That's what my mom used to tell me. He hyped too. Look at him. You seen him hopping to the he hopping to the goddamn hopping like calm your ass down. You need to calm the fuck down. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Tell you that like right now. Boy too hype. He thought he had something. Oh, the judge out the seat. What's going on? Let's get to it. Oh, the witness ain't there. This shit is crazy. I told you it's a zoo. Look at Thug. He like, what's going on? They all look stressed the fuck out. He didn't he tell? I don't know. See, I gotta get a list of all the people that told and the people that didn't tell, because there's a couple of YSL members that didn't tell. You feel me? It's a couple of them.
I don't know.
It ain't like they all just told. All right, so they waiting on the witness still.
I appreciate what you're saying. I'm gonna.
Here we go.
December 28th.
Here we go.
You put so much pressure on my brain, I don't forgot everything.
Pressure on my brain.
Was the lawyer
I'm
for your?
sorry, y'all. Hold up. Here we go. That's the good spot. No, it ain't.
Point that you want to ask.
Yes.
Here we go.
You already said I was here. Was there a court reporter here in the courtroom? Not this one, but a court reporter.
I think so.
Were there deputies?
I think so.
Were there DA investigators?
I think, yes.
Obviously, you said your lawyer was here.
I don't know who the fuck
All
was here. DA investigators? I don't know. No.
Was your friend Shannon here?
if you trying to get to the point,
Mr. Sledge, I'm not trying to get to anything, and I really do need you to just answer the question. So if you could please, Your Honor, if the court would instruct the witness to answer the question,
Listen to the question and answer the question.
And then you can
asked,
explain.
And then you may explain it.
I would ask
Thank
that
you.
he be allowed to complete his answer.
and Your Honor, since his answer was not responsive,
His answer was not responsive.
I'd ask that you
Re-ask the question.
Was your friend, Mr. Stillwell, here in court with you on December 28, 2022?
no,
Was your friend, Defendant Williams, here in court with you on December 28, 2022?
no,
Was your friend, Defendant Kendrick, here in court with you on December 28, 2022?
no,
Was the lawyer for
None of
your
your
friend,
homies.
Mr. Williams, here in court with
Now
you
they all
on
looking
December
at you, Rep.
28, 2022?
no,
Was the lawyer for your friend, Mr. Stillwell, here in court with you on December 28, 2022?
I see what you get there.
no,
Was the lawyer for your friend, Mr. Kendrick, here in
Objection.
court with you on December? He objected.
saying,
I'll
why you
wait. Hold
raising-
on, Mr.
Hang on.
Relevance to whether I was in attendance at the
Did
time
you
he
see
took
her
his plea.
throw that hand up?
Your Honor,
Overruled.
You see her throw that hand up?
was the lawyer for your friend, Mr. Kendrick, here in court with you on December 28, 2022? You can answer first, and I will let you explain, but I need you to answer
no.
yes or no.
But could you stop yelling at me like I'm your child or something? I'm not your child.
You are not.
You talking aggressive to me. You don't intimidate me. All them guys over here. So if you would have came to me and asked me this, I'd have told you the same thing. What if they was in my
Stop
face? and
yelling
in my
at me.
face? I'm not scared of them or you.
Oh!
So that's what you acting like. That's what you
Okay.
acting like.
This bitch ass got offensive. Stop yelling at me like I'm your child. You understand. You see the white boys yelling at the people all day. The lawyers, they yelling. You watch the movies. You know how it go when you up there. She just doing her job, but you getting all, stop yelling at me. Shut your ass up, nigga. Let's
Like you
go.
trying to
So
pay.
do you want me to bring my voice down? And I apologize if it
Don't holler at
sounds
me.
like
I
I'm
ain't your
yelling.
child. Could I take a break? Y'all in the car.
Now, we've had so many breaks this
Yeah,
morning. We
'cause
really need to get through this.
He making them work.
All right.
Breaks.
So, Mr. Sledge, was either Quay that is in the courtroom here today in the courtroom with you on December
When she
28,
threw that hand up,
2022?
that pissed him off.
No,
Was Lil Rod in the courtroom with you on December 28, 2022?
get to your point. No,
That is my point.
your point is
Okay.
pointless.
This shit
Was
hot.
the lawyer for Mr. Huey Quay in court with you on December 28, 2022?
No,
Was the lawyer for Cornelius Nichols in court with you on December 28, 2022?
no,
Was the lawyer for Little Rod in court with you on December 28, 2022? I
I don't know if that's been asked and answered or not.
It was not.
Okay, well, go ahead if you say it was.
Was the lawyer for
No.
Little Rod
no,
She said, "You want to get this motherfucker? Because I can't deal with him." She said, "No, I'm good." She said, like him, "No, no." This motherfucker is emotions flying and flaring.
on cross-examination? Defendant Stillwell's attorney, Mr. Sharp, asked you about Shell Kel and Antrevia. Do you remember that?
I don't recall.
All right.
Calm your ass down. I don't
When
call.
did you lose recollection of what happened 3 days ago?
I don't recall.
Are all of your answers to every question I ask from now on going to be, I don't recall?
Yes,
Why?
because I don't recall.
And what caused you to lose your memory?
You put so much pressure on my brain, I don't forgot everything. I can't remember all this stuff that been asked to me for the last 4 days. It's like, it's confusing. So I'm not, like you said, I completed the 9th grade. I'm not that intelligent to be remembering all this stuff that you keep asking me. My brain just everywhere. I might need to go see somebody after this court time.
My brain finna explode.
Mr. Sledge, did you have
He
any
probably
problem at
laughing
all
if they close up
understanding the
on him.
questions asked to you about Brian Steele?
I don't recall.
Right. Did you lose your memory at any point with Mr. Steele?
I don't recall.
He wasn't pressuring me like you. He was helping me. He was explaining to me. He was breaking down. But
See, that's true though.
Like,
that white.
I appreciate what you're saying. I'm gonna respond to that.
Objection.
Mr.
The witness should be allowed to answer the question.
Were you finished with your answer?
No, she cut me off.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, please.
I said, Mr. Steele was explaining to me he wasn't pressuring me, but every time it seems like I'm getting up in with you, I'm giving you my truth, and you still trying to pressure me to say something you want me to say when
you
I'm
gotta
giving
love
you
it.
the truth that I know.
Mr. Sledge, do you understand that there's a difference between the way that a prosecutor can ask you questions and the way that a defense attorney can ask you questions?
No.
She tripping.
Do you understand that I cannot lead you when I'm asking you questions?
She's trying to insult him and all this other shit. Unnecessary.
When you say that there's a difference between the way that Mr. Steele asks you questions and the way that I ask you questions,
now, let's
would
get
you
back
help me
to
understand what that difference is so that I can ask you questions in a way that does not frustrate you?
Oh, well, I mean, he kind of has told you.
Ay. You get it together.
You overruled.
Ask your next question.
Miss Love, get it together, Miss Love. You looking crazy.
So,
just calm down.
Will you help me break things down a little bit so that I'm not frustrating you, okay?
You already have.
I understand.
I don't even.
Can we rewind?
No.
The bottom line is these prosecutors got no wins, bro. They already know what they gonna do.
Right.
She's stuck like Chuck.
When you were asked about Antrevia, was Shell Kell the person you said who had also started a relationship with Antrevia after you?
I don't recall.
What is confrontational about that question?
I just don't recall.
Why don't you recall?
Because you pressured me. I don't recall. You heard my brain.
All right, so let's take an early lunch, and you can
you hurt my brain.
Calm
that
down.
Boy say you
in
hurt
the meantime,
my brain.
Hopefully, and then we will come back. Let's see, it's almost 11:15. Let's come back at 12:30.
You hurt his brain,
Yes,
Mama.
John, thank you.
Miss Love, you hurt his brain, Miss Love. Can't be hurting that boy brain now. You know better than that. Hurt the boy brain. Let's see if he recall now. I doubt it. Now he got
Thank
a perfect
you, Your
excuse.
Mr. Sledge, did you have a good lunch?
Yes.
All right, good deal. All right. And is your head feeling a little bit better?
A lot better.
All right, good deal. Mr. Sledge, I want to just, and Judge, if I broach an area that the court has told me to move from, I'll quickly move from it. Mr. Sledge, are you able to tell me what you remember about April 28th, 2015? What happened on that date? Everything you can remember today.
Do you want him to tell you about the entire day? You don't, do you?
I don't. And so the judge is helping me out a little bit. So, starting from the point where you learned about Mr. Garlington getting jumped at the club, will you tell the jury, not the judge, the jury, everything you remember about it? Is that all right?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, thank you.
From my understanding, like, he got jumped on in the club, then I left the club, he called me back. We went and picked up Gunner. I want to say Zachary, and then we went, I don't know the name of the apartments.
Okay.
And then I want to say we traveled back down, if that. Traveled back around, if that.
I didn't hear you.
I said once we went to the apartment.
happened there? My bad, y'all. Where we at? That's after lunch. After lunch, went to the
Just
apartment.
seen the fire flash in front of the
Okay,
car.
okay. And were you right up on the car?
He being nicer now. He being nicer. I had to bring it back. My bad, y'all. I'm gonna stop playing with this shit. I gotta see this. This shit is just a zoo. Miss Love, she got refreshed. Oh, girl, she not here no more. What happened? She late from lunch or what? Why she ain't here?
Who
She must
briefly? Yes.
she I think she late from lunch. I don't like that. Is she on Black People Time? What's up? She late from lunch, my boy. That's not good.
I can't speak for no one there, but it been long 4 days, Love. So
It's okay. Take your time.
A little more, my bad. Here we go, I'm done. Miss Love going through it. They telling her right now, oh, your girl left. Look, they got a bunch of black ladies. I like it too. They all working. He said the
let's get the
prosecutor
jury in.
thick though. Shout out EST 87. My bad, y'all. I'm gonna stop playing with this shit. I want to let it run through the not to the end of this thing possibly, but we you know, I've been on it. You know why? Because when they go live, a lot of people they can't see it. They come back and can't see it, so maybe they'll check it out. Come back and check it out on my channel with a little reaction from your boy.
Who briefly? Yes.
Miss Love got her pink on. Alright, this is where I fucked up at playing with it. I'm gonna let it go. She asked her about her outfit. She said, yeah, girl, I got this one. Nah, let me stop. She trying to correct some words that she typed. Hope she ain't make a typo. This shit is a circus, my boy. Your boy, he had to, you know, they had to take an early lunch because my boy wasn't really down with talking no more. He was done with this talking. But we back at it now. I'm gonna not mess with it, let it rock. I just want to skip past the lunch. I ain't want y'all to sit here and look at the lunch. Let's skip past that. Get back to the business. This is crazy. Your boy is being real defiant with the prosecutor. And you know, I feel like, and she made it clear the reason all of these people are sitting in court right now looking at him right in the face. And it make it harder for him to tell the truth now. That's what she's trying to say. But I mean, these dudes are all under the same code. It seems like they all doing the same thing. They following that little Woody, I don't know. You feel me? I don't know what's going on. I don't know shit. I'm dumb. I'm stupid. I only completed 5th grade. What would he say? He said he only completed, I don't know, but this dude said, I only 9th grade. 9th grade, you smart enough to know a lot if you completed 9th grade. But that's the role. I get it. You feel me? But if you fucking up as a prosecutor, you fucking up. And that's what it is. You got to deal with that. Get more sharper. And the problem is they keep getting their little emotions involved and getting attitudes and doing shit. And then it's making the witness uncomfortable and making them pissed off, like when she threw up that arm.
Mr. Sledge, did you have a good lunch?
yes,
All right, good deal. All right. And is your hair feeling a little bit better?
a lot better.
All right, good deal. Mr. Sledge, I want to just, and Judge, if I broach an area that the court has told me to move from, I'll quickly move from it. Mr. Sledge, are you able to tell me what you remember about April 28th, 2015? What happened on that date? Everything you can remember today.
Do you want him to tell you about the entire day? You don't, do you?
I don't. And so the
Just
judge
get
is helping
with
me
it,
out a
Goofy.
little bit.
You
So,
fucking up, Goofy.
starting from the point where you learned about Mr. Garlington getting jumped at the club, will you tell the jury, not the judge, the jury, everything you remember about it?
We went and slid. Shit.
Is that all right?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, thank you.
from my understanding, like he got jumped on in the club. Then I left the club. He called me back. We went and picked up Gunner. I want to say Zachary, and then we went. I don't know the name of the apartments.
Okay.
He
And
said
then
Gunner?
I want to say we traveled back down. Is that traveled back around? Is that?
He definitely didn't say Gunner.
I didn't hear you.
I said once we went to the apartments and then we went back to the house. I think that's what I said.
Take your time, and you do not have to. I'm not trying to get you to match up anything. Okay?
I actually it been long 4 days, Love. So
it's okay.
They need to put up them.
Take your time.
If you have anything, you can refresh my memory. But right now, I don't recall.
All right.
Look what they put up my number right now.
And that's all I'll ask, okay?
Yes.
All right. So I'm not going to try and trip you up. I just wanted whatever you remember today in terms of it.
All right, go ahead and ask the next question.
Okay. All right. Do you remember whether you went to the house first or to the apartment first?
I don't remember. I can't exactly tell you, but I don't recall exactly how I think.
Okay. And the house that we're talking about, is that the one off near MLK, off Adele?
I want to say that's the only house I remember going to. I don't remember.
And where were the apartments that you remember going to?
I don't remember exactly what it was. I just know they was in a gated area. I don't think it had a gate when you got to go through the gate. That's all I remember.
Do you remember whose they were? Whose apartments they were? Like, why were y'all going there?
I think I was supposed to have been dropping Zachary off.
Okay. Did his girlfriend live there?
I don't think she stayed there, but she was there.
All right. Now, was there any shootings that went on there? Did you see somebody else shooting or anything happening there?
Yes, I think that's what it was. They was shooting when we pulled up.
Okay. Now, I know you don't get scared easily, but did you consider that sort of a startling sight to see somebody shooting at the apartment?
For me, it was normal, so I can't speak for no one else, but from my stuff, it was
proud
normal.
of that shit. It was normal for me.
And were they shooting at apartments that you were sending or taking Mr. Zachary to?
I don't know if it was the exact apartment, but it was right there in that area.
All right. Now, in terms of shooting, how could you tell the jury, because they weren't there? Do you see guns pointing out a window or just like fire flashes? What is it that let you know?
I just seen the fire flash in front of the car.
Okay. And were you right up on the car, like, or were you like coming in the gate and you saw fire flashes from like across?
They liking Miss Love
in front of the car, and then I backed back.
Okay. When you pulled directly in front of it, had the shooting begun already?
No, they was
Miss Love hiding something under that pink.
Did you realize they were doing it when you pulled directly in front of it?
No, it's like when we got there, then it started happening.
Okay. Okay, so for people who aren't you, that might have been considered a little scary. So what did you do when you heard the shooting behind you going on?
I backed out.
Okay. Did you back out and like quickly leave?
No, I got back to safety.
Okay. I thought he meant back
and
out.
Where were
back
Mr.
out
Garlington
that.
And Mr. Zachary when you did that? Did you did they run inside, stay with you?
No, they got out the car.
All right. And did you see what happened?
No, I was around the building, so I didn't really get out the car to see what was going on. But I backed up behind the building.
Okay. Did you have to pull around the car to get in front of it, or did you?
No, it's a straight shot. It's just a straight shot through the apartment.
Okay, so is it fair? Did the car pull up behind you then?
What you mean?
Did I understand you to say that you ended up in front of the car that was shooting?
That means they was probably back then facing like coming out and I'm coming in.
I got you. Okay. Did you notice what kind of car it was?
No.
All right. And
She
did
being
you
real
have
nice with him now.
a belief as to who it was that was in that car?
I didn't know who it was.
Start yelling at me.
Did you later form a belief as to who it was that was in that car?
No, I don't recall.
All right. Did you all do anything based on who y'all believe might have been in the car?
I already answered that question. I answered that question 2 days ago when I told you about it.
Okay. Forgive me. I had a long weekend. Could you tell me what you all did?
Be nice.
Based on what
He
you all
know-
believed.
You know he's
Or who
sensitive.
you all believe was in that car. There's nothing more that'll happen as a result of it, I promise.
Be
I don't
nice.
know who was in the car. At the time, I didn't know who was in the car. I still don't know if that was true, what was told to me, so.
All right. And that was told to you by Mr. Zachary or somebody else?
Well, it was told by other people too, so.
Okay. Other people that were there with you?
In the street, in the streets. Like, when things happen, it be talked about in the streets.
Okay. Did you all react immediately, or did it take a few days or something different?
I don't know. I can't really tell you because I told you I was behind a building, so I couldn't actually see what was going on.
All right. Okay.
Miss
At
Love.
any point, did you think that If Gang was involved in that?
If Gang, that's Rich Homie Quan.
I don't know because I told
Rest
you
in
from
peace.
the night that he got jumped on. I didn't even see who jumped on him.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't recall. I can't say that.
Okay, that's fair. I'm not asking you if they were. I'm just. Judge, may I be allowed to ask the question?
Yep.
Thank you. I'm just asking you at any point if you believe they were, not whether you know, not whether they were. Just at any point, did you?
No, I never believe. I never believe.
All right.
I don't believe shit. He said, I never believe. Okay, gangster.
Now, we talked last week about Antrevia Smith, and
Damn,
you
these
talked
names.
a little bit about that on
Antrevious,
cross-examination. Your relationship with
Antrevious,
Miss Smith.
Quantavious. Antrevious, I like that
The
name.
Kelvin
Antrevious.
Watts who started dating Miss Smith after you did, was that the same Kelvin Watts that had a beef with Kenneth Copeland?
I don't really know if him and Kenny Copeland had a beef or not.
Okay.
Damn, she give.
So did you ever learn, or did you ever discuss any kind of beef that Kenneth Copeland had with Kelvin Watts?
I don't recall if we ever discussed Miss Love. I don't recall.
Okay.
Antrevious.
But
Antrevious.
is it fair to say that, look, let me ask you a better question so I'm not leading. Is the Kelvin Watts that started dating Miss Smith after you did, was he also called Shell Kale?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Shell Kill.
And do you know if Shell Kale, did you consider him having any family relationship to Donovan Thomas Jr.?
I never knew they was, how long I've been knowing Donovan Thomas, I never knew they had any relationship.
All right.
Hey, if she had an OnlyFans, that should have make money.
How long did you say you knew Shell Kale? If you said it already, forgive me.
I don't know. He went outside when I was outside. He probably came outside. I started hearing about his name 2015. Before then, I never knew him.
Okay. When you say came outside, help me and the jury know what you mean.
Whenever he started hanging outside, I didn't know him before then.
So, based on that answer, did he start hanging outside around 2015?
I don't know, Ms. Love. I'm saying that's when I started hearing his name in the street. Other than that, I don't know him.
All right. When you heard his name in the street, did you hear his name associated with If Gang, sir?
No, not when I first started hearing his name.
At any point later on, did you hear his name associated with If Gang?
In the streets.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
All right. Now, do you remember whether that was after 2015, like 2016, 17, or during about 2015?
This case is
Really
entertaining.
because it was late. It probably was late in 2015, but
Thank
I don't
you,
know.
sir. All right.
Facts. 100.
Now, you were shown some dates in a book by Mr. Williams' attorney. I'm going to approach with the court's permission and with your permission. Is that all right? All right. So,
She getting close to
did
him.
you testify, or a better question is, did you participate in every performance in 2015
Let them smell that perfume.
that the Travis Scott rodeo tour included?
No.
All right. And do you remember when Mr. Steele was up here reading these dates to you and you were saying, yeah, you see them on the page?
Yes.
All right. Now, would you tell the jury if these dates are dates that you were actually at the location indicated on this piece of paper?
Yeah, most of them.
Okay. Are you able, as we sit here now, to tell the jury, just you can point them out and then read them out after you do, the dates that you did go to?
Through all the dates. I know exactly what day that I left that tour.
Okay.
I don't know the exact date, but I know what state I was in.
Fair enough. So did the tour
She finessing.
did not start until after
She got close to him.
January 10th, 2015. Is that right or wrong?
That might be right.
Okay. Do you know of any tour date on this tour that you were talking about with Travis Scott that started before February 28th, 2015?
I don't know the exact dates. At least I'm looking at the book.
Here. Do you know of anything before February 28th, 2015? Here, you can turn however you want to look at it.
Mm-hmm. She said you could turn it
No,
however you want to look at it.
February 28th, 2015.
Okay.
Yes.
And to your memory, is that the very first date of this Travis Scott tour?
Yes, from my memory.
All right. Now, this tour, when we say Travis Scott tour, who was the headliner? Was Mr. Williams the main attraction, or was Mr. Scott or somebody else?
Mr. Scott was.
Okay. Now, was he a major performer? And you got to forgive me because I don't know Travis Scott, okay?
Come on.
I'm not lying. I don't. Was he a major performer? I'm older than you believe, and you're going to have to forgive me. Yeah.
Come on.
She capping.
I'm dead serious. I don't know the man.
You know, don't be mad at me if I'm laughing.
But she threw a joke in there to soften him up. She finessing, I'm telling you.
A lot of people know he's a big major artist.
Okay. All right. And is he a rapper, a singer, a musician, or something else?
I don't really. I think he do like, is it like rock or something like that? I don't really know.
Okay. All right.
Rock.
So he's a big performer, and did you go on that very first tour date on Saturday, February 28, 2015, that's listed on the book?
I just told you yes.
Thank you. Were you head of security for Defendant Williams on that day?
Yes.
I want to say, I don't recall if I was.
You wasn't, nigga. That was too big for you.
Security, but I did a lot of different
You definitely
things
wasn't.
Too.
You was just a security nigga.
Thank you for that. Now that was that in Santa Ana, California?
Yes, that's what the book is in.
All right. And is that your independent recollection, apart from what the book says?
South Santa Ana, California.
I can just go by the booklet and know the actual day and what state it was in.
Okay. And so does looking at the booklet make you remember, or are you just relying on the booklet to be right?
I knew the booklet was right. I had one myself.
Okay.
In that time.
All right. Do you remember who else within YSL went on this tour?
It was a lot of us. I don't recall everybody who was there.
Was it? I'm sorry.
It was multiple, so I don't recall everybody.
Was a young slob life
shouting? Was that the first time you were going to Santa Ana,
I can't wait till he
California?
take the stand.
Maybe not, but with a major upcoming artist it was.
Now, were you all with YSL? Were you all like traveling with Mr. Scott, or were you all traveling separately? How did that work?
We traveled separate.
Okay.
Mr. Scott, not my friend. Jeffrey's friend.
Understood. When you got to the venue, wherever that was, did you all stay in the same location as Mr. Scott or separately?
I can't remember. They normally have different dress rooms, so I don't recall.
All right. And did you stay overnight, or did you all just perform and leave?
You perform and leave. At least he had to be there more than one day, so I don't know. If his bookman say 2 days, sometimes we say 2-3 days in the same state. So you might go to Dallas, you might go to Houston, you know, there's stuff like that. So.
And was Mr. Stillwell with y'all on this tour February 28th, 2015?
I think so.
What about Mr. Kendrick?
I think so.
All right. Anybody else in this courtroom that would have been with y'all then?
Not I know of.
All right. Now, March 1st, that's listed here. Did you go on that one too?
March 1st. I was there every day except the day that I told you that, well, the state I remember that I went home.
Okay. So, are you able to say just from memory where or which ones you remember performances occurring at? I'll give you the
Which one?
I can't remember all that. I don't recall all that.
She said it complicated. She said it crazy.
On the days that are listed as travel days, are you able to tell the jury if you all actually traveled on those days, or were there some days that you all traveled on different days?
Probably actually that day because you had to be in another state before he performed. It was a time limit, so like we had to stay on the time limit.
Okay. Are you able to tell this jury with 100% certainty whether or not Mr. Williams performed at every show reflected on this tour schedule?
I can't say that because I got sent home on a certain date, so I didn't finish the whole tour, so I can't say that.
Okay.
I didn't see him perform, but I could, like, until I got sent home, I seen him perform.
Without looking at the book, and I'm going to show you the book in a minute, but without looking at the book, are you able to say the date you went home?
I can't tell you the date. I remember what state it was.
Okay. Looking at the book, would that help you remember when you went home? And does that schedule just consist of that one page, or is there 2 pages?
It's 1 page. I remember right here.
Okay.
I got my finger pointed at it.
Okay. Can you read out the
date? It was Thursday, March 26, 2015.
Okay. Thank you. Are you able to tell the jury with 100% certainty whether on every tour day prior to Thursday, March 26, 2015, Defendant Williams performed at every performance listed on this sheet of paper?
They getting at that Young Thug shooting.
After that date, that date, yes. That's the last show I was at.
Okay. What I'm asking is, before you got sent home, before you went home, right?
Every show day he performed.
Every show day?
Yeah.
Every day. She probably in her 50s.
Do you recall who all was at the shows that he performed at every day before March 26, 2015?
No, I don't recall that.
After you got sent home, did you make any effort to follow what was going on as he toured?
No.
So when you got home, did you just kind of blank out and not listen to or anything?
I enjoyed myself with my family.
Okay. Did you speak with or talk to or communicate with Defendant Williams or any other member of YSL who might have been touring with him?
No, because I was trying to get family time in, so I didn't call and see what Mr. Williams had going on.
Miss Love gonna have a court show.
When you got sent home, would you tell the jury how it was that you were sent home? Like by bus, train, plane, car?
I don't even think he sent me home. I requested that I was ready to go home, but I went by plane.
Oh, okay. Did you, did that request have anything to do with your family? What happened?
No, I was just ready to get home and see my kids at the time.
Fair enough. Did anybody else leave at the same time you did on, was it March 26, 2015?
I don't recall who all left at certain time because everybody didn't leave and go the same way they kept on the plane.
Okay. Was defendant Stillwell still with Mr. Williams on this rodeo tour of Travis Scott's when you left? Do you remember?
I don't recall if Mr. Williams and Mr. Steele went home or he stayed on tour. I don't recall.
All right. Do you have any memory about Mr. Kendrick and how long he stayed?
No, I believe Mr. Kendrick stayed the whole while. If I'm not mistaken, Mr. Kendrick like a backup hype man or something at the time.
Was a backup hype man.
He was on stage with him performing.
Okay. Was Mr. Copeland with him? Do you know?
No, I don't remember Mr. Copeland.
What about Mr. Zachary?
I think Mr. Zachary had got sick. He went home way before.
Was Mr. Stevens with him?
I don't recall.
What about Mr.
Here we go. I don't
Darlington?
recall.
Was he with them?
I don't recall.
Let's go.
So without me
do that
going down
song.
a list of people you don't recall, can you tell the jury if there's anybody else you recall being on this tour of Travis Scott's with you and other
I
YSL?
don't remember nobody. I'm worried
No,
about me.
recall.
Okay.
I'm focused on me. Shit. You asking me
DK,
about
Walter Murphy, was he at ever any point on this tour?
I don't recall.
it's coming. Shit, I'm focused on
Do
me.
you recall ever being on tour with Mr. Murphy?
Who was
I
Mr.
think
Murphy?
I was at one point in time, but I don't recall when he left. I don't recall that.
Okay.
I won't say that he was
I
never
know he
on
got
this
some
tour,
cool names.
Yes, sir.
but I don't recall when
His
he
name
left.
probably Slack God.
Okay. Now, is this tour that you're just pointing to, is
Slime
that the only
Gotti.
tour that you've accompanied defendant Williams on as either head of security or something else, or is there any other
This fucking-
tour
how did you
that
get in
you
there?
can tell the jury that you worked or were a part of?
From my understanding, what I know, I only know about 2 tours. I don't forgot what the second tour name was, but
I'm gonna kill
I was
this.
there.
All right. Was that after or before the one?
It was
Which-
after.
Do you remember how long after?
It probably 2019, I want to say.
Okay. And was it in the States or was it like in other
don't
countries or
recall.
something different?
We went to Atlanta, but it was different states. And I think, like, on the tour, he did go to another country at one time.
You probably never
Say
went
for
to
me
no
one
other
more time,
country,
sir.
nigga.
I think he did go out the
You
country
ain't go.
on one
I don't
of the
think he
dates.
went.
I just don't remember what date.
All right. Do you remember whether he was the headline by 2019?
Yes, he was headline.
Okay. And did he have other artists performing with him?
Yes, his artist.
All right. Besides people from YSL, like with this, he was performing with Travis Scott. Did he have some other people besides YSL performing
I
with him
don't
in
want to say
2019?
the guy. I don't remember the guy's name. It's Kelly, something like that. I think it's something like that. I don't want to use the term of what his race is, but his name Kelly or something like that.
Was he my race?
No,
Okay.
he was his race.
It was his race.
Yeah.
White boy.
Since you want me to say it.
You're all right. That's all right.
Yeah.
All right. Was it Machine Gun Kelly?
That's who it is, Machine Gun.
Okay. All right.
I'm not familiar with all the rappers, but
Okay. But Mr. Williams was the top line and Machine Gun Kelly
Kelly
was
was, yes.
with him. Okay.
Machine Gun Kelly, that's Puffy, little
Now,
boy.
is it am I reading correctly that this rodeo tour lasted February 28, 2015 to April 3rd, 2015?
That's what it's saying. The booklet is, that's what it is.
Machine Gun
And you
Kelly,
can
that's
look
Puffy,
on
little
other
punk boy.
pages if you need
I
to.
don't think it's no other place. I really know.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the ending date.
Okay, so is it your memory that after April 3rd, 2015, where it says travel home, there was no more rodeo tour?
No, it was no more rodeo too.
Okay.
Won't you welcome to that rodeo?
When you
Won't
worked
you lay
on
like
the
that?
tour
Oh, I got the songs mixed
in
up. My bad.
2019, do you have a rough estimation of how many places, how many cities y'all visited?
No, it was a lot.
Okay. And do you have any idea of who all within YSL would have accompanied you and Defendant Williams on that tour with Machine Gun Kelly?
I don't recall everybody who was with us, Miss Lord.
That's fair enough, Mr. Sledge. Do you recall anybody though?
First I remember that. I know Mr. Kendrick was there.
Okay. What about Mr. Stillwell, 2019?
I don't even remember what Mr. Steele was. No,
Okay.
I don't think. Whoa, let me bag up.
Yes or no? Don't
let me
tell me.
Can I bag up? I don't even think Mr. Kendrick was there. I'm sorry.
Damn.
Okay.
I don't think Mr.
He
Kendrick
wasn't
was
even
there.
there.
Okay. Was Mr. Murphy there to your knowledge?
No, I don't recall.
All right. What about Mr. Zachary?
Don't
I don't
recall.
recall.
Okay. And did you and Mr. Williams, y'all stay at the same hotel and things like that on that tour?
Yes, I was basically everywhere he went. Probably like my room was like next to his, probably up on the floor.
Okay. Now, when you talked about earlier knowing Mr. Williams' music, but you can't recall always songs, are you familiar about any YSL members that he talked about in his songs?
I don't recall. If you got anything to refresh my memory, you can.
All right. Do you have any memory of any songs that Mr. Williams referencing
You
a
know,
woman getting robbed by a tick? I do so. I blank her and she get robbed by a tick.
I don't recall. That must was in the early time. I don't recall that song.
Okay. When you say in the early time,
I'm saying like in his beginning of his career, I don't recall that song though.
for you, can you tell the jury what you consider the beginning of the career, the earlier part that you wouldn't remember, just so they have a frame of reference?
Probably around, I guess around his early career. I can't give you exactly a year.
Okay.
The rats getting famous off this shit.
Even if you tell me and you don't got it in front of me, I can't tell you.
All right. Okay.
I'm gonna fuck this little mosquito up.
What about Lil Woody popping at your night? Does that sound familiar?
Yeah, I think that was on the song.
Do you remember what song that was on?
I want to say halftime, if I'm not mistaken.
Any idea when halftime dropped?
Half a perky, half a zany nigga.
Halftime dropped.
Okay. Do you remember around like 2014, 2015?
Don't remember that.
Okay. Were you working as head of security during that time?
I don't
I didn't
recall
even know
that,
Woody was
because I
in
don't know what
halftime.
year. I can't answer that.
That nigga
because I don't know
infamous.
what year it came out.
Okay.
They put him in halftime. That nigga infamous. Halftime. Half a perky, half a zany nigga halftime. Imagine if other niggas get on the stand.
In March 2015.
More famous niggas. Slime like Shawty. Who else? A bunch of niggas. What happened to Duke? The nigga Duke. He supposed to be 60s. He YSL.
You said you went home around March. What was March?
Well, that was Phoenix, Arizona.
Phoenix, Arizona.
After that show, I went home.
Okay. All right.
Or it would have been the next day that I went home.
Okay. All right.
So I didn't travel to the next state with him.
All right.
Yeah, something
All right.
happened.
So March 26th, 2015 is Phoenix, Arizona. You would have gone home like March 27th, that Friday.
Yeah, that morning.
That morning? Okay. All right. Did you ever hear, sir, you want to see it again?
No.
All right. Did you ever hear, while you were there, before you went home on March 27th, did you ever hear Defendant Williams refer to any other artists in his music while he was on stage? Other than Travis Scott?
I don't recall because I don't recall all the songs he performed.
Okay. Did you ever hear him diss anybody on stage?
I don't recall.
And I'm going to have to say the word, but I hate to do it, but I'm going to ask. Did you ever hear him call anybody a bitch on stage?
I don't know. He probably said bitch in a lot of songs.
Beach ass nigga.
He called nobody
Fuck
no
nigga.
bitch. I never
Bitch,
heard him call nobody a bitch on stage.
Okay. And did you ever hear him refer to anybody substituting one part of their name for the word bitch?
Yeah.
Okay.
Beach boy.
were talking about that video with you, Mr. Zachary, back last week. The video. I'm sorry, I'm switching gears. I'm switching gears.
Here, there,
You
there,
confusing me.
But I ain't
That's how you.
aggressive.
But that's how you confusing me. You.
I knew
you
it.
going to one subject, and then you
I
jumping
knew it was
all
coming.
the way left
I
field.
knew it was coming.
All right, I'm gonna try and orient you. Last week, when you and I were talking, do you remember me putting up a video of you and Mr. Zachary, and one or both of you had a gun, and you were saying something like, "We're not going back and forth," and you were talking about Kale in the video.
Right.
All right.
That's a
When
fact.
you
I knew
were-
it was coming. You confusing me, bitch.
Do you remember when it was that you filmed that video? Not posted it, but filmed it.
I don't recall when we filmed it.
Okay. And when you were filming that video, do you remember saying that at any time that it wasn't about a girl?
I don't think we never even mentioned a girl name in the videos.
It don't matter.
So is it fair to say, or is your testimony that the
It was about
stuff
a
you
bro.
said to Kale wasn't about no
Like
girl?
everything. Like everything else.
I don't recall. I can't say.
About some thick ass red bone.
You said what I said. I don't
Some
recall. 'Cause
slim
I ain't
little
say
red
nothing
thing.
about no girl in the video.
Tall.
That's fair. All right, but do you remember the video?
I remember we made the video, but I don't remember what I said in the video.
Miss Dyer,
what-
are you able to pull up that video?
Oh hell no. She ain't playing. She said pull a fucking video up. Pull a fucking video up. Where's my girl at? Why she ain't come back? That's crazy. Why she never came back? She like, I ain't dealing with this shit right now. She ain't never come back. The girl that Woody was picking on, call her stinky, this and that. Even though then we find out that that's the girl you was meeting up with way before this trial. You've been meeting up with her for years. Y'all had a relationship, friendship almost. And now you get her on this shit, you want to clown her. But she was here, she had her hair laid. Y'all seen it earlier. They went to lunch. Come back, she gone. The fuck? They got rid of the girl, man. Nah, she probably like, man, I got something to do. Shit, you got this, big mama? Cause you know Miss Love, she.
What number was that?
She one of the top level.
441. All right, we're gonna play 441.
Damn, look at this
One more
incriminating shit here.
You little short ass nigga. We ain't really going back to no nigga. You little bitch ass nigga. I know we hate none of that. Yeah, fuck you nigga.
That's him right there.
Love ass nigga. What nigga? Nigga. Whoa. They said I ain't really going back.
Look at this stop. Nah, let me
You
stop.
chuckling?
He laughing. He laughing.
Cause it's funny now.
This shit
It's funny
as
now?
hell.
Yeah,
It
that
is.
video.
Now, who other than Kale were you talking to when you said and whoever else?
I just said whoever else.
All right. Now, what were you meaning to tell Kale?
I want them to tell him nothing.
Okay.
I said what I said in the video.
All right. Which was we're not going back.
I ain't going back and forth with him.
All right.
I ain't say them, I said him.
Right. Was he trying to go back and forth with you about something?
If you want to be honest, they were saying that he was looking for me about treatment. So
Okay.
that's the whole thing. So when he didn't respond to me when I DM'd him, I made sure he was gonna be able to see what I was saying.
Oh, you a dummy. That's some ratting shit.
What did you DM
That's
Kale?
ratting stuff.
I DM, I don't got no problem
Let the
with
world
no
know.
girl.
Okay.
You want to
And
let
when,
the world know you had smoke with him.
Did to your knowledge, did Kale say something about Mr. Zachary?
I don't know. No. I can't recall if he said anything about Zach. I don't know.
Then I'm gonna have to fall to my country roots and ask you what was Mr. Zachary doing up in there with y'all?
I don't know. He was just being silly in the video too. It was all silly. It wasn't in that serious. Cause when I seen Kel, he ain't do nothing to me. And I ain't do nothing to him. So it wasn't that serious.
So for you putting guns on the internet, ain't that serious? Is that fair?
No, no one was shot, so I don't think it was that serious. The video.
Okay. All right.
Yo, I also walk around with guns all day. It ain't that serious.
I need that sound.
When you orienting you back to the rodeo tour, not trying to switch up and change you and confuse you.
That when you first.
Now you confuse me.
You went from here to down, down to down,
Yeah.
down to down.
I'm trying to get past it and go
And I'm
fast.
trying to stay focused with you, but you started throwing me off.
All right.
Come on.
When we're talking about the rodeo tour, you said you had to go home, but you were working. Did you have any kind of contractual obligations you had to fulfill before you went home?
He'll let me go home anytime I wanted to, no matter what the contract was. He'll let me go home. If I tell him I want to go home and see my son, he'll be like, he'll let me go home.
All right. And did you have someone to replace you when you went home?
Yes, I was head of security, so that means I only choose the security.
All right.
That don't mean I did security.
All right.
Head of security just means like I could come say, we're going to get Miss Love, we're going to get him, we're going to get her, we're going to get Mr. Right. And if one of you don't do right, I just say, we'll give him the plane ticket.
Did you have responsibility for sending folks home to act it up on the tour?
No, I don't have responsibility to it.
Okay. Now, on cross-examination, going back to...
It's right here.
Unless you don't supposed to have.
This is Defendant Williams number 255, right?
Yes.
All right. You told Mr. Steele that you had seen that. You recognized that before,
yes.
Right? Where had you seen that?
If I ain't mistaken, man, when it was posted and added, I want to say, man, Mr. Williams was together.
When it was posted and added, y'all were together?
When the guy added him, me and him was together. That's why I remember this post. And we were both like, I think he was gonna try to use it in a song or something, but he did.
Shout out Jim Milton.
Are you familiar with D-Mac, Got Me Too Banging?
I don't know him personally, no. I don't know him.
Now, where was it that you saw it?
I want to say that was Twitter or something at the time, if I ain't mistaken.
Now, are you tagged on this tweet too?
No, what are you getting at?
The jury doesn't know, so I'm just asking.
You showed it, they presented it, and they
All
see I'm not tagged on them.
So when you say that you and Mr. Williams were together, were you looking at his Twitter account?
Yeah, we were sitting there looking at the phone together.
At Mr. Williams' phone?
Yes.
All right.
Use a Rizzle.
I'm going to pull up what I will mark for you as State's Exhibit number.
Miss Love gonna have her own court show. I promise you. After this, she gonna be on BET, or maybe even whatever the fuck, one of them stations.
Judge, I'm going to, for the purposes of this question, mark the clip that I'm going to show as State's Exhibit 447. I'm sorry, 449. Okay. And it is from 1:03:30 to 1:08:17 of Mr. Sledge's testimony on
Get to it.
September 5th, 2024, when I asked about the video of Defendant Williams
I was about
speaking
to say
into the
UPN.
camera.
Oh, nigga shit.
Talking about their life of their mama.
Give her a court show on UPN. She be straight.
Last week.
Oh.
Just last week.
I was going to say.
Yeah.
Speak on it, Miss Love. Look at
Just
your boy.
take a look at it, if you will.
I will.
Okay, thank you.
He being nicer. I don't know what happened over lunch. She got close to him.
Thank you for trying not to give me a hard time.
Look. She softened up a little bit.
Take a look at it.
And that's how
My
easy
apologies.
she could do it.
Yes.
That's that black
Miss,
girl magic. She was able to
Mr.
soften
Steele, do you
his
mind
ass up.
coming over to Miss Knight so
Look.
so that she can show you what we're about
like,
to show?
This is some bullshit. I gotta get up.
Else any of the
And
other?
this little lane
Anybody
back there, he
else.
want to get up too. The other lawyer for the other nigga.
And Judge, so that our record is very clear, it will be 449
This shit funny.
Yankee.
Okay.
Look.
Thank
Why you gotta get on your knee? Look. He's showing humble. I'm just a small little man. Like I said, a damn
And
sheep.
thank you for not giving me a hard time.
I mean, a
I
wolf
don't
in
want to.
sheep clothing.
I just want to get up, get out of here.
All right.
I don't want to give you no hard time.
And now she manipulating. Thank
Is
you
it
for not
done?
giving me a hard time. Manipulating. She an OG. You gotta give it to her. Miss Love, an OG. She dialed it down when the boy started acting like a bitch a little bit. She said, okay, I know how to deal with you. She turned it down.
Judge, just so that the court's aware, we're making it available, but we're playing it through the transcript so that the volume isn't overheard by anybody else in the courtroom.
Oh my God. It's like all of this drama. The judge is sitting there like, I ain't agreed to none of this shit. Look what you did. Took over my goddamn courtroom with this bullshit. I ain't
And
hear
with
the
court's
judge.
permission, I'm just going to sit while they're looking.
She ain't give you no permission. I ain't hear the judge give permission for none of this. Now, look at this shit. This is a mess. Travesty. It just looks ridiculous. The judge would not have. Look at my boy. He know. He like, what is really going on? But they can't play it for the jury to hear. Like, I didn't hear the judge say nothing. She just finessed this shit. All right, come over here. Come on, everybody. Da, da, da. The judge ain't have time to say shit. This girl's aggressive. She ruthless. Hey, maybe she's what they needed. She what the state needed. I don't know if she came from somewhere else, if she's a Georgia native or not, but she is not playing no games. You feel me? The other girl who got kicked out, I forgot her damn name, but she had a lot of reasons not to be there because she had relationships with deceased people that's involved in this case. All kind of crazy shit. They got her ass out. But this one, when they brought her back, man, it seemed like she not playing. I just can't lie. She not playing at all. There's a lot going on, a lot of talking before they could proceed. But we about to get into this.
Okay.
We can't talk about that.
Okay.
They giggling together now. They kikiing. So he got to watch it too. All right. Let me see.
When the video was shot,
Where we at? Okay. Somewhere right here. I mean, that video seemed like it must be some crazy shit with all of them with guns and talking crazy. I don't know, but I don't know why they can't show it to the witnesses right now. I mean, to the jury right now. Why did they have to do all that drama? But there's got to be a reason. You know what I mean? Doug's lawyers was like, y'all ain't showing them people that shit right now.
same video.
That ain't happening. It ain't happening. God damn, how long? I don't want to skip past the beginning because I want to hear everything she's saying. So I could be able to go in depth on this case later if I have to. But at the same time, she got the mic in her hand. She got the white boy sitting there. Her other girl, she left. I don't know what happened to her over lunch break. If she ate some bad, goddamn, whatever, soul food. Nah, let me stop. She out of there. Miss Love holding it down. This dude being more nice. You know, because he was real distraught in the beginning. You confusing me. You confusing me. Come on now. You see it? He looking at the video. I'm sure he's seen the video a million times. But like I said, they making these lawyers work, boy. Miss Love working for that money. I know she make some decent money.
It ain't that, but you can get it. I know what you're talking about.
Damn.
You just want to stop saying 108. Right?
You can stop it if you want to.
Okay, 108. Just listen to it through 108.
He said you can stop it if you want to. Made her run to it. That's crazy. Where we at now? We at what's this? 50. I don't know what the fuck we at. I can't tell the way this is. I really don't want to watch this.
All
Look
about
at
it,
the
like-
video, but damn.
Video. Looking into the camera, talking about they lied to their mama.
Yes.
All right. And do you recall me asking you whether that was your voice in the video?
I told you it sounded like my voice.
And do you recall me pressing you, asking you, was that you?
When you just showed me video, I see now, but that's why when I told you it sounded like me, I thought you just took it as that was me, because I told you it sounded like me, and the only way it can sound like me, I had to be there in the room.
Do you recall telling me that you did not remember being in the room?
I see on the video I did, but like I tell you, you were pressuring me so much that day too. My mind just was everywhere.
And when I asked you if that was you specifically who said snitching bitches,
I said yes, that was me. That was my voice. Sounds like my
Snitching
voice. That's
bitches.
what I said.
did you ever acknowledge though that that was you in the video?
I said it sounded like my voice, so yes, I acknowledge that with me if I said it would sound like my voice.
Snitching bitches. That's what he
I
said.
ain't say it sounded like Miss Love, and I said it sounded like me.
Miss Love.
To me,
Why he
that's
promoting her
saying it's me.
name? He must know her.
All right.
They fucking.
Do you recall me asking you where you were?
I said, and I told you I didn't remember whose house it was, but I did. I said that sounded like my voice.
Do you recall me asking you who all was in the room?
I don't recall you asking me that. I ain't hear that on that neither.
He ain't hear all that.
Do you recall me asking you the names of anybody else that was there?
Not I recall you didn't ask me about nobody. You was on the Pacific asking me about my voice.
Specifically.
That's what I remember.
And do you recall at some point
He's all
telling me, I'm not
Pacifically.
saying that it's me, I'm just saying it sounds like me, so I can't tell you.
I'm from the South.
Yeah,
I
I
was
told
born
you it
down
sounded
south.
like my voice.
I could
That's
do that.
all I remember telling you. It sounded like my voice. So I know if it sounded like my voice, I just thought you. I'd say, yeah, that's him. He said it sounded like his voice.
Do you remember Doug's attorney showing you the same video a day later?
Yes.
Do you remember him asking you, was that you in the video?
Yes.
Do you remember telling him, yes, that is you in the video?
Yes, because I had the day to think about it, and then I was like, yeah. When I was still planning in my mind when you showed it to me, and then I thought about it, I was like, yeah, that is me in the video saying it. It's my voice.
Yeah.
Is that
me.
the video that you were thinking of when you were talking to me back in June with your attorney, Lieutenant Lansico, and myself out in Fayette?
Put it on
I
blast.
don't even remember you asking me about that video, Ms.
Yeah,
Love.
whatever, nigga.
Do you remember me telling you on direct or asking you on direct about a video where I asked you if you had seen, or did you know the video where they say you lie to your mama, you lie to your
Pappy.
kids, and you said that wasn't me?
No, I remember telling you I didn't see me in the video. I seen Mr. William in the video, but I don't recall the statement you make.
Thank you. And do you recall me asking you then, where had you seen that video before we met in Fayette?
I don't recall, but I just heard it. Something about you asked me that, and I told you I seen it before time, and I seen it recently.
Now, between the time I showed it to you and the time that Mr. Steele showed it to you, did you go look at it and listen to it again?
No.
All right. And so, what happened that made your memory precise about not just the fact that it was you, but where exactly it was shot? I'll clear it up. Bad question. Do you remember telling Mr. Steele where that video was taken?
I don't recall Mr. Steele even asking me where it was taken. I don't even recall him asking me that.
Your Honor, can I object at this point, 403?
We've all heard the testimony, so whether he remembers it or not at this point's not really the issue. Can you just ask the questions you intend to
Sure,
be
Your
asking?
Honor. Thank you. Mr. Sledge, why did you remember who all was in the room when the video was shot, when Mr. Steele asked you the question?
I just told you, when you asked me, I didn't remember. But when I left that day, and I thought about the video, and then I realized everybody's voice who was in the video.
Okay. And what about the time or the date that the video was shot? What did you remember that too after you left?
He showed me the date of the video he had, and then I remember it was a repost, different date. I don't remember the date of the repost, but I knew where he cross-examined me on, I knew the answer to that question.
And do you remember me asking you about what what you understood Defendant Williams to be talking about when he said they lied to their mama, they lied to their sister, and all that stuff? Do you remember me asking you about that?
No, I don't remember you asking me that.
At any point, having heard the video again today, did you hear anybody reference lying in the courtroom on that video?
Yes.
You heard somebody say something about lying in the courtroom?
Oh, no. You said lying in the courtroom?
Uh-huh.
I don't even know if I
They don't want to cooperate with nothing that
I think I did.
This prosecutor is saying.
If you got anything, just show it to me.
Your Honor, state request permission to play again states 447 Yankee.
That's
the video itself.
Okay. All right.
And so even hearing it just now, you didn't remember, right?
No, if you show me again, like that part.
Okay. Don't worry about the earphones. We're going to put it up on the big screen.
She said we put it up on the big screen so everybody can see. He got his jean suit on with them Jordans too, with the Jordans on, you know, whatever those are. Boy come through stunting. He ain't come through dressed like a bum like the rest of them dudes. I would have been dressed like a bum probably. You ain't about to tie me with nothing. Shit. This nigga.
So nigga, a lot of they mama, a lot of they kids, a lot of they brothers and sisters, they didn't get ready in the courtroom and tell the God that is true.
Fuck, nigga.
Don't get it.
I know thugs hate when they play this shit.
You snitching bitches.
From me and YSL.
I don't hear him say lying in the courtroom.
Hey, you snitching bitches.
So, when you were asked on cross-examination by Mr. Steele if that video talked about lying in the courtroom, and you said, yeah, was that a mistake?
Yeah, that was a mistake, because I didn't say lie. It didn't say lie in the courtroom. The voice didn't say lie in the courtroom.
Okay. What did you understand it to be saying?
What he said or what in the video it said?
The video.
It's I'm lie on God.
Okay. And when Thug is talking, what is he talking about doing in the courtroom? Telling the God's honest truth?
Yes.
All right.
They only call him
And after
not Jeff.
Mr. Williams says, and you get in the courtroom and tell the guy's honest truth, you need to get killed, bro. That's from me as YSL. Since you realize now that that is your voice, would you tell the jury why you say snitching bitches?
Because snitch is a liar to me.
Okay. Did you just not say that he said you get in the courtroom and tell the guy's honest truth?
Well, I'm in the courtroom telling God honest truth. So whatever he said, what he said.
Okay. So when he's talking about telling the guy's honest truth in the courtroom, why do you follow that up with snitching bitch?
I just said something. There wasn't no reason to follow it.
Damn.
Do you consider a person who does get in the courtroom and tell the guy's honest truth on their friends snitching bitches?
No.
All
Mm-mm.
right.
They caught him. They caught that boy lacking. They caught him with that one. But that don't mean shit. I mean, come on now. As an entertainer, let's talk about the facts of what's going on. The murders, the actual crime.
By Mr. Steele about a meeting that you had with Lieutenant Lansco, your lawyer, and me out in Fayette County. Call that?
Yes.
Did you let Mr. Steele know before we met that we were actually going to have the meeting?
Did I let Mr. Steele know?
Yeah.
No, I hadn't talked to Mr. Steele before that.
All right. Did you let anyone at his office know that we were going to have that meeting?
No.
And afterwards, did you let him know that we had just had it?
Could you be more
Pacific.
direct? What you trying to say?
Only what I'm asking.
You said, did I do what?
Did you let Mr. Steele know that we had just had that meeting?
When? After we had the meeting?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Did you ever let me know that you had that Zoom call with Mr. Steele?
No, I ain't. Because my lawyer put the Zoom call together. I didn't put it together.
Okay.
Mr. Steele didn't call my phone himself and say, Mr. Sledge, what's going on? No.
Okay.
My attorney was on the Zoom call.
Okay.
They keep playing that video about YSL and Thug saying that stuff or whatever else. But the thing is, you could pull up videos of every rapper ever in the game, gangster rapper, talking some super high power gangster shit. And most of them ain't doing it. So the video about the social media shit, I mean, that really shouldn't be relevant. You feel me?
And on the Zoom call, or rather last week, Mr. Steele asked you very pointedly, if you recall, do you remember Mr. Steele asking you, did Miss Love, or did you tell Miss Love that Defendant Williams encouraged you to take Kenneth Copeland to the police station?
I said that to you and Mr. Steele.
Do you recall Mr. Steele
asking me that? Yes.
Do you recall Mr. Steele asking you, did Miss Love tell you, do not tell the jury that Defendant Williams encouraged you to take Kenneth Copeland to the police station?
I wouldn't say it was said like that.
Hold on a minute. Do you recall him asking you that?
Yes.
All right. And do you recall telling him, yes, Miss Love told me do not tell the jury that Defendant Williams encouraged me to take Kenneth Copeland to the police station?
You didn't say it at the meeting June 9th. You didn't say it that way. But when I brought it to your attention that Mr. Williams told me to take me and Kenneth Copeland to the police station, your exact words to me, I don't want you to say that, and I would not be asking you that question.
So, at what point
put her on the spot
did I tell you not to tell the jury that Defendant Williams encouraged you to take Kenneth Copeland to the police station?
You didn't use the word jury, but that's the way I took it, because from my understanding of this process that I would be speaking to the jury to try to prove the facts to the jury, and I just thought I should come in and tell my truth.
When your lawyer and you, Lieutenant Lancico, and I sat outside that coffee shop, were you in any kind of handcuffs?
No.
Did you come on your
He's
own?
a rat.
I came with my lawyer.
Did you leave on your own with your lawyer?
Yes.
All right. And did anybody try to read you any kind of rights or anything like that?
No, you know that. I would have been in
But the
jail.
jury doesn't know that, okay?
Right.
So, did you feel free to say whatever you wanted to say?
I just told you, I said what I said, free, yeah.
All right.
I was free to say what I wanted to say.
Okay. So, during that conversation, were you encouraged to come into the courtroom and simply tell the truth?
Yes.
Were you encouraged to simply tell the truth by me?
You said it out your mouth that you wanted me to come here and tell the truth, but you said it out your mouth.
Were you encouraged to tell the truth in front of Lieutenant Lancico and me by your attorney?
Yes.
As a matter of fact, did your attorney tell you to act as if any question the state asks you, they already know the answer? So don't try to finagle anything. Tell them the truth.
I don't recall him saying that in the meeting.
I hate to use this. I'm not being blasphemous. But did your attorney tell you to pretend like the state is God and they know everything?
Blasphemous.
No, he didn't say that.
Okay.
I know that. You heard me.
All right.
That was weird.
Do you remember me asking you about the video?
That was
Do you
weird.
remember me asking you about the video and you're denying being in a video where you say you lie to your kids?
I never denied the
That was
video.
weird
I
as
said
a
you don't
fuck.
see me in the video. They're my exact words. to
Right.
you. That ain't denying the video.
Okay. And do you remember after that I said, I've seen a video with you in it?
You said you seen the video with me, and I said you didn't see no video with me in it.
And do you remember me saying, yes, I have?
But
and you kind of smiled.
At the time, you were referring to video that Mr. William posted, not the video that I posted. Because if you would have said the video that you posted, Mr. Sledge, I would have said, yeah, that's me in that video.
Mr. Sledge, did I make reference to whose video it was? Or did I just ask you about the video?
You made, to me, I thought you, when you brought up the video with Jeffrey in it at first, then you brought up another. You brought the video up of Jeffrey.
Okay.
Because I told you that wasn't me. I said you didn't see me in no video.
Okay, no problem. Now, on direct examination, do you remember as you sit here today, me asking you whether Mr. Williams encouraged you to take Kenneth Copeland to the police station?
In this courtroom?
In this courtroom.
Yeah, you asked me the question. I figured you asked me the question because my lawyer called me and asked me, what did you, Ms. Love, say to you and at me? So then when you told me at the meeting, you wasn't going to ask me the question, but then you get in the courtroom and ask me the question.
Sound like Woody.
That's what happened.
Okay. So was it that I said I'm not going to ask you that, or did I tell you not to tell the jury that?
You said how I took it.
How you took it. I just need to know my words. John,
it's non-responsive. Ask your next question.
My words only. Did I ever tell you not to tell the jury that Defendant Williams encouraged you to take Kenneth Copeland to the police station? Did I ever tell you that?
You just said you didn't want me to say that.
I bet she did too.
Okay.
I bet she did.
Is it your testimony that I said I don't want you to say
they
that?
Was out to
I'm not
get
gonna
him.
ask you that.
Both of them.
We established it.
We don't really have a clear answer.
That's crazy though. Maybe she did though. I ain't gonna ask you nothing about that.
And it's your testimony that your lawyer and Lieutenant Lancico were still right there when I said these words that you heard?
Yes, so I wouldn't have said it.
All right. And based on what you just testified to the jury, you gleaned from that I didn't want you to tell the jury.
I never used the word tell the jury. I just said exactly what you said to me. I say, Miss Love told me that she didn't want me to say that, and she wasn't gonna ask me that question.
Damn.
Okay, so then your memory is not, you don't remember telling Mr. Steele. You do not remember asking Mr. Steele saying, did Miss Love tell you do not tell the jury?
If he said jury, I forgot I made a mistake. And I should have corrected Mr. Steele if he said jury. But I'm telling you what you said to me. I ain't saying you said don't tell it to the jury.
You told me.
But that's the way I took it too, cause that's who I'm supposed to be talking to, right? Telling the truth to, right?
Right.
Okay, so in my way, not the lawful way, that's the way I took it. Cause if somebody tell me, oh, I don't want you to tell my girlfriend this, I'm gonna take it this. You feel what I'm saying? You don't want me to tell the truth.
Something grimy going on.
Okay. So, all right.
Got her all distraught. Damn.
So were you surprised when I asked you, did he encourage you to take Kenneth Copeland to the police station if you thought I didn't want you to tell the jury?
Circus. What kids he say? Zoo. It's a zoo.
I'm exploring what he said his understanding was.
Miss Love, you getting emotional.
So were you? When I asked you that question, were you surprised
Miss
given that
Love,
you thought I didn't want you to
emotional.
talk about it?
This is getting turned to a mess.
I don't know. I can't recall. I don't know.
Okay. All right.
Move on.
Now,
let's go. What you got? See?
On cross-examination,
is she stuck like Chuck or what? See, it's like, if you ain't got nothing with this motherfucker, move on. But they want to milk it out and juice it out. Like, come on now. The boy ain't cooperating. He ain't with the program. He going against the grain.
did you tell Mr. Shart that you didn't feel like you could go to trial, or you didn't have the ability to go to trial?
And I couldn't afford to go to trial.
Okay.
That's the question he asked me. He didn't say ability. He said afford.
All right. And that's the reason that you answered yes to all the questions that you answered yes to on State's Exhibit 444 Yankee and 1AS?
I don't recall.
Having had time to think about it now, do you
She under pressure, bro.
remember and realize that your sentencing acknowledgments placed you in peril of probation revocation if you testified inconsistently with something you said was true during your plea agreement?
What? He don't know. He don't understand what you just said.
I don't think I testified nothing that wasn't true today, if I recall.
Do you remember testifying on last week when I asked you specifically about portions of what you agreed to, and for you to tell me if any part of it you're now testifying is false, to label it false, and if any part of it, if it's all true, to tell me it's true? Do you remember me having that conversation with you?
I remember the conversation, but you had put so much on, I don't even recall what went on.
Do you remember me putting in front of you State's Exhibit 447Y? And
Yes.
I object like a new question.
You'd like a new question?
Rather than, do you remember me
Look at her. She like, what?
Oh, okay.
Miss Love like, what?
Right. Whether he remembers it or not is not really the relevant matter.
Oh, God.
All right. Did you testify that
I never seen
number?
that. Not
I
highlighted.
give you the number.
All right.
Did you testify that number? I took it already. I put it back.
Oh my God, Miss Love. You know they on you. You gotta get your stuff together, mama.
Here it is. Okay.
It's looking like a bullshit case. And I'm sure the jury is thinking the same thing. It's like,
did you testify that, looking at this, at State's Exhibit 1AS, did you testify that number 3 under defendant's factual acknowledgments is not entirely true?
No, I didn't say it was not entirely true. I think I remember I said the part of the support of YSL, and you put Care as a rival gang member. I told you I didn't even know he was that gang at the time. And if I made a mistake anyway else, I made a mistake.
All right. Do you remember me putting, now I have to ask, do you remember, Your Honor? Do you remember me putting State's Exhibit 444Y in front of you?
I remember you
444 like Jay-Z
out. Like,
do you remember me asking you to go over each number, and if one of it is true or one of it...
no.
Do you remember me asking you that if all of the statement is true, to tell me and label it true, but that if any of it is not true, to call it false? Do you remember that?
I don't recall that, Ms. Love. Like I told you, you've been confusing me for so many days. You've been confusing me since I've been on this stand. So I don't know, like now, you jump from one thing to another thing. My brain don't move as fast as probably yours. I might don't learn as quick as you do. So I don't remember all this stuff. You putting all these paper in front of me ain't gonna make me remember.
Okay. All right.
So whatever you trying to get to.
All right. We're just getting to the questions. So we'll take it slow.
I don't remember.
All right. 1AS, that is the document you signed, right?
Yeah.
All right.
After a few days of this shit,
on 1AS,
them boys get...
I don't want us to go over the whole direct examination.
I'm not.
This is supposed to be redirect.
I'm not, Your Honor. I'm specifically asking questions that are related to what the witness responded to on cross. So on cross-examination, the witness was asked whether he was allowed to craft this, whether they were his words, whether he understood them, whether he felt compelled to.
I recall.
And so what I'm asking now, and he was also asked on cross whether he felt between a rock and a hard place.
I already answered that question.
So what is it that you want to ask him?
I believe that he testified on cross that one part was feeling between the state and the other was Fulton County Jail or going back to jail. So I'm asking him about his sentencing acknowledgments and what he has stated or agreed to within the sentencing acknowledgments and how that squares with his rock and hard place on December 28, 2022.
Okay, and ask him that, how those acknowledgments square with his rock and a hard place.
I don't think that's going to get a quick answer, but I'll ask. Okay, so Mr. Sledge, how do your sentencing acknowledgments square with... Do you understand that you said...
Now you thinking this stuff funny.
No, sir, I don't. Mm-mm.
You do.
Do you understand?
Because I know your question ain't funny.
It is not.
So what you laughing for?
Mr. Sledge, do you recall stating in your sentencing acknowledgments?
White lady, save me.
I don't recall.
Okay. Well, you have the paper in front of you. Would you please look at it to refresh your memory?
It still don't refresh my memory.
Okay. Your Honor, the state tender states Exhibit 1AS as evidence of a prior past recollection recorded? Yes, it was, and it was agreed to.
Damn.
I
Yes, it
object
was.
as well, Your Honor. This is not past recollection recorded,
It
and
is.
past recollection recorded does not come into evidence. I have to get you the code section.
You're right, it doesn't. He read it into the
Damn.
record.
That's exactly right.
We already read it into the record, though, and not we, but you. You already read it into the record once.
Your Honor, I'm asking, all right, fine. Mr. Sledge, do you understand that you agreed that if you fail or refuse to testify to any fact that you acknowledged in this plea agreement, that such failure or refusal nullified any promise by the DA to null pros count 30 of the indictment?
Objection asked and answered.
Whoopsie. Player, you might be
Sustained.
going to
And
jail.
we've already
playing with them
established
people.
that he adopted all of those things. So,
Your ass going back to
So
jail.
understanding
He's scared now. He's
that
nervous.
as of last week, you understood the sentencing acknowledgments. It did not place you in what you called between a rock and a hard place with Mr. Sharp as far as coming in here and testifying to something different than what you put in the factual acknowledgments.
I can't, from my understanding, I would be able to explain the things that you
This
want
white
to
judge
change.
probably banging him.
That was from my understanding.
Okay.
So now I'm in here testifying my truth and not what you put on paper and your answer. These is not my answers on this paperwork. Yeah, I did sign it, but if you would have came to me personally, like I think you should have did, and asked me this yourself, I would have told you no.
Did you
I don't know. This judge seemed like she's fucking with the
did you
prosecutors a
testify
lot.
that lay low were my words and not yours when I asked you on direct examination
She giving her girls a lot of
Defendant
leeway.
Williams giving YSL members money to lay low after the murder of Donovan Thomas?
When you asked me at that meeting, I told you he couldn't have gave YSL money to lay low because I'm the only one that stayed in Atlanta.
No.
I told you he gave me money to get out of harm's way. I borrowed $300.
I'm talking about in court last week. Do you remember saying, I didn't say lay low? Those were your words.
Them is your word. I didn't say lay low.
Do
That
you
was
remember?
already on this paper. I never used the word lay low to you not one time. All this stuff that you trying to say, it was already on the paper. You changed certain things and then we agreed, and then I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't even want to say that. I got another paper that's saying you changed number 8. It went from one thing to another thing. You don't want to red flag that.
It went
No, I
from
do.
one thing
Okay.
to another thing.
So, thank you.
Because you changed the personal knowledge and I ain't changed it.
Thank you for that.
I would have never said yes to that. When I got to the last paperwork, I
Caught
thought we had
her
an
ass for
understanding
some shit.
of what the emails my lawyer sent
Woo!
you.
So, do you now remember
Come on, Miss
getting
Love.
multiple versions of states 444Y that was changed at your request?
Miss Love, you fucking
Not
up.
all of
Man.
it.
Okay. Well, let's just
You changed the thing.
show you. And you tell me which ones you remember.
Sure, it ain't gonna make me remember none of this stuff.
Okay.
I ain't gonna remember none.
Wasting time. Oh, look
So-
at her. Look at her little.
Do you remember
Okay.
asking the state to change more than one thing on the factual acknowledgement?
A lot of things.
Do you remember the state making changes at your request?
I don't
She
really.
came popping
I
out of
don't
nowhere.
really know because I seen something
younger
different
thing.
today that it wasn't what I thought it was the day I agreed.
Do you remember last week testifying that you hadn't seen any other document besides the one you signed?
I just seen them today.
Okay.
I didn't see it. My lawyer was just coming, asking me, and I guess he thought the question was gonna be changed, and I don't know. I don't think they was changed.
Okay. Well, we'll get to that. Since you won't remember, that's fine.
You can't make him remember something he don't remember, Miss Love. Let's get to the bottom of what's going on, what's really going on, what's really happening. Stop trying to make the boy remember stuff. He smoke a lot of dope, drink a little lean. Feel me? This shit regular. He go through this type of things all the goddamn time. Get your shit together. What's the next question? See, the defendant, he had the thug lawyer had them questions like bang, 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 bang. I'm done. That's it. She dragging, bruh. She dragging like she got dragging breath. Look, what she looking for? Look, she just looking to pull up shit. Ain't nothing in mind. She just looking for shit. Whatever pop up first. Some dudes will tell her to sit on the lap, make sure to talk about the first thing that pop up type of shit. You feel
When
me?
you were asked by Mr. Shart about April 28th, 2015, Jeffrey Williams, he only asked you whether Jeffrey Williams was with you in addition to you and Mr. Zachary and Mr. Garlington. Is that right?
I don't recall.
Is my memory correct?
I don't recall.
Okay.
And I ain't see this yet. I just know what he finna say. Somebody call her psychic. Feel me? She dragging it. This shit is like objection to the dragon. Somebody need to object to the dragon. Because it's wasting all these grown folk time. And my boy right here, he look like he gotta use the bathroom. He gotta sit down.
Did you feel on December 28th, 2022, as able as you have felt in this courtroom this week and last week to tell the judge when you needed to do something like talk to your attorney? Did you feel as free to talk to your attorney or ask for requests to speak to your attorney then?
I don't recall.
You know?
No.
Okay.
Your case is done. These witnesses ain't no type of help at all. They
Is there
hurting
any
the case.
portion of what the jury saw in your December 28, 2022
Now you yelling at
testimony
me.
where you halted the proceedings or what wasn't seen? Did you ever halt the proceedings on December 28, 2022 to
don't
ask
recall.
to your attorney?
I don't even know the words you just used.
Did you ever stop and say, Judge, can I talk to my lawyer like
Hell
you
to
have
the-
today and last week?
Like I told you earlier, I ain't sitting over there. I'm sitting up here supposed to be telling my truth. And it's like you're not accepting my truth.
It's
I wasn't sitting over there in County Blues. I was sitting over there in County Blues. I'm in the free world. So it's like...
It's different.
I couldn't stop and say that over there.
Why couldn't you?
Because I wanted to get
I
at.
don't understand that, but once I got up here, I thought I could. Because you told me that. You said, anything you don't understand, you didn't tell me that December the 28th, right?
Did your lawyer?
No. My lawyer didn't tell me to stop neither.
So sitting next to your lawyer, did
It
you
was
ask
you.
him questions? Not talking about what they were, but did you ask him questions at the table?
I would ask the witness to be allowed to answer the questions.
Yeah, you cut them off.
Judge, I'm not asking him what was said. I'm asking him.
The province of the what? Oh, no.
He keep looking at the judge like he know her. He might know
Sitting
her.
at the table next to the lawyer you had known for 15 years, were you able to ask him questions?
I probably could have, but I didn't.
It's possible these niggas know
And
all
in the
each other.
back, when you were with the lawyer you've known for 15 years, did you ask him questions?
Yeah, I told him.
Well, if he wants to share it, it's his to share.
I don't want to. I don't want to share it. Okay, I don't want.
Specific about what you and your
I don't want to share it.
And I'm not asking you what. I'm
I
asking
don't
you,
want.
did
She
you?
just said I had to share it, man.
She said you didn't have to share the content. I'm asking
Well, I don't want to
She
share
didn't
it.
say that.
I don't recall.
She said if you want to share it.
I'm asking you, did you ask?
I don't
want
recall.
shit. I
don't
don't
recall. Here you go.
Are you saying that now because you're just frustrated?
Here you go again. Here you go again. Here you go again.
This is funny, bro.
That's it.
What he talking about? He don't even got a mic.
Okay, I
Sit your
disagree.
big ass
The
down.
question was, were you able to ask him questions in the back? And frankly, he answered it before he didn't recall. So,
Thank you, Judge. All right.
How long is she gonna drag this shit out is all I want to know. We need to move on to the next witness. Who we got? Slime Life Shawty? Who we got? Lil Duke? Who we got next? I want to know the next witness. Because you got a lot of them. You feel me? Gunna might even have to take the stand. Let's get into that. That's going to be great. Let's get to that entertaining shit there. Feel me? Like, let's really talk about it. Where Duke at? That name is sus anyway. Duke. Lil Duke. Where this nigga at? You know, they said he ready to speak on some issues.
When you left court last week, did you wipe your nose at the jury?
What you mean?
Just that. Did you wipe your nose
She bugging.
at the jury?
Yeah,
Like he gonna say
you
yeah.
asked me to do it.
Yeah, I did.
I mean, when you got off the stand.
No.
Okay.
She reaching
I
now.
my nose at the gym.
Did you wipe your nose
See,
at the jury?
She going too far.
She
until
bugging.
there's an objection, they just ask questions. But all these are capable lawyers,
She going too far.
as is your lawyer. So,
Yeah, but
I wipe your nose.
just call the balls and strikes.
They throw up all that shit.
All right.
I swear you.
Just
They
one
wipe your
moment.
nose, boy. I slime you out. The boy can't, like, that's crazy. Like,
Yeah,
these
I hope
boys,
so.
they can't even wipe their
Before I go back
nose.
little.
You feel me? If it's itching or something.
Cause I don't mind going little.
Shut your ass up. You going to jail. I don't mind going left. You go left, you going to jail. So I think you do mind.
Go back left.
Arguing back and forth with you.
Okay.
You just being petty now.
All right.
Get out of here. You done.
You felt differently on December 28th, 2022.
This a mess.
You would have changed everything I want you to change. I probably wouldn't be going through it. You probably wouldn't have gave me the deal. If you'd have came
My
and
nose
asked me-
itching right now.
I don't know. I'm sick of her, man.
She said he wiped his nose at the jury. He told the
I don't
whole
wanna make
jury.
you sick.
Well, let me take
Who
a
are you
break.
talking to right now?
Could I take a break?
Hang on just a second.
Like them old folks
you,
know.
Are you almost done? Because
I'm wrapping
there are
up.
some people who need a restroom break.
Could we just give them that break,
I
Your
need
Honor,
one
and I'll make
back.
sure that I'm on.
Give them that. Yes, let's take a break right now.
This shit is some petty.
Next witness.
Your Honor, the state.
Alright, they going on to the next witness. We out of here, y'all. That shit is crazy. It's funny. It's petty. Some back and forth noise. Like I said, these prosecutors getting in their emotions, getting in their feelings. They set up a case. They thought they had a case. They thought these people were going to be cooperating, but they not. That shit is funny as fuck, man.